In addition to that, we also have a system called Happy or Not. You'll see some of those kiosks. I think there's 2 kiosks currently that we have in the operation. I think one is inside the restaurant or by the sandwich, and another one near the bar area. And that is actually a kiosk that you can just walk up to and then kind of give us your feedback. Again, different various of options there, and then that just we get a report on that on a daily basis, and that's another piece of tool that we use to kind of measure satisfaction and going from there. So yes, that's important.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, on a personal note, can you tell me about your family?
Most certainly. So my family. Let's see. Been married with my wife for 20, going on 22 years now.
Newlyweds.
Yeah, newlyweds. Oh, yeah, newlyweds, right? Yeah. So, but we have 2 kids. My son is 21. He is actually going to Cal State Fullerton for criminal justice. My daughter is currently 18, going on 27. And so and she's doing a cosmetology program for esthetician. So she's excited. She's all into that kind of stuff. But great kids, and enjoy spending time with the family. Just whenever else. I mean, whenever I'm not here, I'm with my family, and then you'll hear that a lot. So and we do a lot of being Colombian, because I'm originally from Colombia in South America, and my family has always been very united and together. So I spend a lot of time with my sister. I have one sister here. And my parents are retired. They're actually in South America. They worked many years here. And so, they come in back and forth and we get to visit them. So, whenever I have time to be able to go down to South America, I'll do that. But, again, it just any excuse to dance with my wife, it's always welcoming. So, we definitely do that a lot with my wife and try to do that as often as possible.
So when you aren't working, you like to travel and you like to dance.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So, one thing that you hear about Colombians is that we love to dance. And so hopefully, that's something that we do on a weekly. Plus, it's a great exercise. Maybe the exercise I don't do on a regular basis, but that's okay. I'll get my exercise when I'm dancing with my wife.
Well, I haven't made it to Colombia yet, but I just made it to South America. We went to Argentina. That was
excellent.
Our 6th continent before hitting our 7th continent
Nice.
of Antarctica.
Oh my goodness.
So,
wow. Yeah, that must have been a fun trip.
It was.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to go further south, but yeah, I mean, my parents have, and they say it's beautiful.
What the little bit we saw of Argentina was just gorgeous.
Excellent.
Just gorgeous.
Excellent.
Well, before we wrap this up,
Yes,
is there anything else you'd like to say to the Sun Lakes community?
I think that it's, first of all, I want to thank you for the support and appreciation. And I think that it's important for us, like I said, to get the feedback from members and everything we do. I mean, from service to quality of food, and again, just thank you. I mean, we're here to serve you, and we're looking forward to making adjustments and changes to things that are that we can improve on and make things better for everyday operations. So just give us the opportunity to give you that service. And I know that this is a large community, so we're looking forward to serve you.
Thank you, Javier.
You're welcome.
It's been my pleasure to talk to you today and introduce you to the Sun Lakes community. If you haven't had the chance to meet Javier yet, stop by the sandwich, the lounge, or the restaurant and say hello.
Most certainly. Just stop by, pull me aside, and I'll be happy to have a conversation with you.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Anita Lawrence for Good Day, Sun Lakes.
We have a lot of movement in the past 2 months in the storage lot, which have eliminated our wait list, except for the large spots of 55 feet. So therefore, we currently have 5 spots available in various sizes. So if anyone needs a spot, now is the time to get one. I mean, all last year, we were 100% full. Of the turnover at the end of the year, now we have 5 spots. If you need a spot, please contact, which is new person in the administration office. And like I say again, if there's somebody out there that needs a spot, that's RV related, now's the time to jump on it. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you. Restaurant and lounge. Hello and welcome to this series of how to turn off your utility meters. We at IPAP are tasked with helping our residents prepare for an emergent or catastrophic event. Many of you are aware that we live within close proximity to several earthquake fault lines. It is extremely important that we all are prepared for the big one. Riverside Emergency Management Department suggests that we be prepared to sustain ourselves for up to 10 days. We at IPAP feel that knowing how to turn off your meters is an important task that every resident should know how to do. In the event of a disaster, there may not be anyone that can help if you need these tasks done. Depending on the type of emergency, the electric company may turn off the electric power to grids that are involved in the emergency. This may take them several hours. Your electricity may not be turned back on for several days. We will start with the gas meter.
Hello, my name is Chuck Chapman, and today we're going to show you how to turn off the gas meter at your house or condo in case of an emergency or a catastrophe. The gas meter is usually located on the side of the house. They all look like this. You can either use a crescent wrench or a 4-in-1 tool that is already attached here by the homeowner, and you're going to turn this valve off, and you will notice that the slot is in line with the pipe, and to turn it off you're going to
Good afternoon. We're going to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody that's here, good afternoon, and everybody on Channel 97, good afternoon. Don Day and Gary Burkle are on vacation and will not be here today. Today, the board sits arm in arm with the business partners of FSR and CCL, advisory committees, district delegates, and residents. We feel together, stronger as one, so we will not be on stage today. The format for today's meeting is a little different than in the past. We will take public comments in the first half of the meeting instead of the end of the meeting to ensure all comments are heard by guests. The Master Board's working very hard to keep us safe, enhance our amenities, and protect our financial well-being as an HOA. In August, you will be receiving a survey. The survey is very important. Please take the time to fill it out and return it to your district delegate. This survey will help us better understand who lives in Sun Lakes and how we can better serve you. Summer's in full swing now. That means our insurance renewal and annual budget work begins for 2026. The board has interviewed 2 new insurance brokerage firms over the past month, and they are working at this time on getting us competitive quotes for 2026. Our goals for the coming year in the budget is to have a clear understanding of what our true costs are and to ensure we have a workable, sound budget. Since COVID, prices on everything seems to have skyrocketed and increased quite a bit for all of us. We want to make sure that we are current with our paying our bills and have the proper reserves in place so that when things arise, we're prepared. When the board selected our new food and beverage company, they acted on behalf of the HOA in a proper fiduciary manner. The board will review all major contracts in the coming months to make sure that Sun Lake residents are receiving the very best services at the very best prices. It is our duty, and we will do the best for you. And lastly, our brick donation program goal is almost met to begin the new clock tower project. Orders will go out soon for the clock and the bricks. So if we haven't ordered your brick yet, please submit your brick order in the pro shop as soon as possible because time is running out. Thank you very much. The executive session, Jason. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, everyone. This report will give the community an update on the report or on the actions that the board took at their July 9th, July 16th, and July 21st executive sessions, at which time litigation, member discipline, formation of contracts, and personnel matters were discussed. With member matters, the board approved the house account receivables as of June 30th as well as the assessment account receivables as of June 30th, 2025. The board reviewed one show cause hearing. The board reviewed a master architectural appeal. The board reviewed and approved the delinquency report. The board reviewed one request for a fee waiver. The board reviewed 4 requests for an annual golf refund. And the board reviewed a few letters from members. With legal, the board reviewed and approved the executive session minutes from May 19th, June 25th, July 9th, and July 16th. The board received several updates from legal counsel. The board reviewed costs from a number of collection attorneys and has decided to stay with the current collection attorney, which is MLG. The board approved to send the following to collections attorney and to begin the foreclosure process. And they were on APN 440-010-046, APN 440-010-077, APN 440-083-009, and APN 440-140-063. With formation of contracts, the board received updates from the management company on several items and discussed the progress on multiple projects. The board met with CCL. The board met with representatives from a couple different insurance brokers, as Mr. President alluded to earlier. The board received and filed the project activity report. The board received and filed the investment activity report. And the board reviewed the Sun Lake staff turnover report. The board met with Carla Chung to discuss the association's current and future investments. The board reviewed and approved the ratification of 3 emergency operation expenses to be recorded as reserve items. And these were electrical wiring and the blower motor in the kitchen, as well as some other kitchen items that needed to be repaired ASAP. The board has also approved the street sign replacement. So the street names, those signs will be replaced. They'll be done in 3 phases over the next 9 months. The board has also approved the RFP to go out for the Cheers Bar to be used as an on-site real estate office. If interested, the RFP will be on the public side of the website. So on the public side of the website, there's a little tab that says current RFPs. If you go on there, it'll be right there. So anybody who would like to go out bid on it or submit their RFP can. It's not limited to just those that receive the email that you guys have all heard about. So it is open to anyone. So again, if you have any questions where that's at, you can always ask us, but it's on Sun Lake's website right there, current RFPs, and it'll be there as real estate RFP. The board reviewed updates on the Legacy Brick and Clock Tower program. The board approved the survey to go out from the delegate assembly. The board approved a marketing brochure that the marketing committee has been working on. The board approved a dog park to be constructed at the North Clubhouse adjacent to the pickleball courts on the west side, and I know Mr. President will be talking about this later. And finally, the board reviewed and approved the June to July narrative and analytic reports from Securitas, and both of these will be posted on the website. And the board is continuing to work with Securitas and the Safety Committee on a major incident report to be presented to the community on a monthly basis. And that completes the executive session actions.
Thank you. At this time, we'll do the homeowner comments. Ms. Walter.
Good afternoon, Master Board, FSR. 2 things. The Community Awareness Program is having their presentation on Tuesday, August 5th from 1 to 3 in the main ballroom. Please join us for a presentation on the warning signs of Alzheimer's, how to identify and address concerns. The presenter is Kimberly Spiegel, Senior Program Manager for the Alzheimer's Association. So this will be going out, and I think this went out in the delegates' newsletters also. I think it did. And then the second thing I want to mention is our Masquerade of Elegance and Glamour, the fashion and luncheon show. There are more flyers out there. This is what it looks like. So if you're interested in coming to this, go ahead and put your envelope, drop your envelope in the decorated box in the lobby. Tickets are $65. Include your name and phone number on each person that's attending. 1 person from your group must be present, and the lottery will be held on August 25th from 9 to 11. And let's see, fashions are by Daisy Blue and Lush Lane. So if you have any questions, you can always give me a call. Thank you.
Thank you. Marcy?
Good afternoon, Master Board and FSR. My name is Marcy Tierney. I'm coming today to speak about transponders. I don't know if you're aware of it, but there is an extreme backup of issuing those. We recently had friends move in, and it was over 2 weeks before they were able to actually go around the community and especially go over to the North Clubhouse. They immediately joined the executive course and want to be very involved, but it was of great inconvenience. So I would ask that the Master Board look into that. Now, I believe when we got the new, or it could have been the prior issue of transponders, many of us volunteered. So if you're short-staffed, I, for one, would be happy to come and volunteer and help. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mr. Johnson, Mr. Ken Johnson. Ready to
Master Board, FSR, residents, my name is Ken Johnson, Birdie Drive. I'm pleased to announce that I purchased a brick for our Sun Lakes Joe Ganino Clock Tower project.
Not the Joe Ganino project. No, it's the Sun Lakes Country Club. But Mr. Johnson, thank you for your purchase.
You're welcome. Of course, we had to have our dog print on it. And as you would expect, the wording is Ken and Jean Johnson, Birdie Drive. I would encourage all residents to participate in this project if you can. I'm excited to see that the Master Board has been able to come to a mutually agreed upon dog park solution in our community near the North Clubhouse. Great work for all those that have been involved. My wife and I continue to support the food and beverage venues, but I'm really concerned that we should have some firm, established project completion dates for the acoustical and HVAC issues in our food and beverage venues. I truly believe once these projects are completed, our food and beverage revenues will increase. Finally, I'm really feeling uncomfortable that we're not going to be and stay within our 2025 budget expectation, and time is quickly running out to realistically develop a budget for 2026. The clock is ticking, and I hope that we'll have one that everybody is pleased with. That's all I have to say, and have a good day.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, Carl Miller.
Afternoon, everyone. His name's Carl Miller. I've been here for a short time, 24 years, and I love living here. It's a nice place, and I don't normally come up and say anything about anything, but I had a couple issues that I wanted to bring up, and one was a safety issue with parking over by the pop tennis courts. It's golf cart parking only. And on Tuesday night, when they do bingo, we have they open it up to the handicap to park there. And I talked to a gal last night that was parking there. Matter of fact, we brought 8 carts over so we could take our own parking spots back. And because when they open up to them, the handicap take up all the golf cart spots. But last night, a gal said someone had fallen. She saw someone fall with their walker because it was too steep. Anyway, it's a safety hazard, and I think we should stop letting handicap park over there because it's not made up for handicap to park there. It's not made up for cars to park there. It says golf cart parking only, and I think that's the way it should stay. And so it's one of those things that it's a safety issue. And by the California law, it should be, to make it handicap, there's major things we have to do to it, which I don't think we should be able to. So anyway, that's what I got to say about that. And another thing was the restroom in the main clubhouse here for the pool. I want to see about taking out a whole row of lockers that are never used and put more benches in there for the people to use. At the South Clubhouse, we have several benches where people come in and use them. Here we have one bench. So I'd like to see about getting a row of lockers taken out that are never used and put a couple more benches in there. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. So we need to get a motion to approve the minutes from the open session on June 25th.
I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Dolores.
I'll second that.
Dolores.
All in favor?
Aye.
She was wanting to talk during the
Oh, we didn't have a paper.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, sorry.
I apologize. I didn't have a paper. Oh.
Just kidding.
Almost went.
We women, we are trained in walking in heels. Good afternoon, board, FSR members. Well, yeah, there's two of you. Residents, my delegates, fellow delegates, and those watching on Channel 97. I'm here as the delegate for District 4, reading a letter on behalf of one of my residents that is opposed to the leasing of that space for a real estate office. So I'm going to read this on her behalf. She is in Arizona, could not be here, otherwise she would be reading this. To our esteemed board members, FSR, and the residents of Sun Lakes, I apologize not being here in person. I designate my district delegate to read my thoughts about having a real estate office located inside Sun Lakes. As a realtor for some 40 years, having owned and operated 3 offices with upwards of 25 agents, I can see the advantage of this opportunity. However, as a part of CAR State Director and Chair of the Professional Standards Committee, I do not think this is fair to all, especially the independent realtors, those that are not franchises, many that are semi-retired residents of Sun Lakes. Having lease money coming in is attractive. However, there will be dissension amongst the many realtors living and working here. For a typical month, I meet anywhere from 2 to 10 or more of my clients here, walking through our reception area into one of our venues and also touring them through the amenities promoting Sun Lakes. I certainly would not be doing this any longer. It would be like asking my unique clients to meet me at a competitor's office. The amount of revenue lost from me is insignificant compared to the amount of goodwill Sun Lakes will lose. As a resident, I do not think this is a good fit. I think a real estate office inside of Sun Lakes is a bad idea. I think there are other kinds of businesses that could better utilize the space and appeal to a vast majority of residents. Respectfully submitted, Carol Elliott, District 4 resident, 10 years, 2 months, owner/operator, Unique Marketing Concepts. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we need a motion to review and file the June 2025 financial statement packet. I apologize. So on the consent on all 3?
Just have him read the consent.
Please read the consent agenda.
So the leads, Chris did actually leave me with a very short lien list, which is very nice. So I only have 2 to read this time. So the 2 liens that the board is going to approve on the consent agenda are for account number 0159-01 and 1862-02. The other items that were on the consent, like I said, the minutes that the board has reviewed, as well as the financial statement and packet for June 2025. And those are the 3 items on the consent agenda.
Get a motion to approve this.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I don't know, someone's making hand motions at me.
It's a A and B conversation. We're not in it, I guess.
I just need a second
We
on the
just need a
motion.
second. I'll second. All in favor?
And, okay.
Aye. Okay, committee reports, Bingo Advisory Committee?
Mr. President, for the general manager report, I'd like to forego that and have Michelle come up and do the employee of the month, if you don't mind.
Ah, sure.
Sorry, I'm doing hand signs over there. Okay, so our employee of the month for June has been here at Sun Lakes for over 20 years. During this time, this employee has always gone out of their way to assist residents with whatever they need. This month's employee of the month is someone that cares a great deal about their work and always puts their best foot forward. Whenever there is a need to cover, we can always count on this employee to step up. Additionally, this employee is a great team player and helps other members of the team when needed. This employee is someone you can always count on. When they say they're going to do something, it gets done right the very first time. There is a lot more that can be said about this employee, and I know there are a lot of residents in attendance today who know this employee and could tell you a story or two on how this person has gone out of their way to help them. There were so many kind remarks from residents. Two of my favorite comments are, "This person is always so helpful, friendly, cheerful, and makes sure everything is done properly." And the second comment is, "This person has always a smile and he's always so positive and goes beyond to take whatever you need." So the marketing committee is proud to congratulate Jose Contreras on being the June Employee of the Month for his outstanding job performance. Jose is more than deserving of this recognition.
Congratulations. Sub-associations. Do we have a report from the subs? Okay. Delegate Assembly.
Good afternoon. My name is Cal Martin, and I am here on behalf of the Delegate Assembly to keep you in touch with what's going on there. At the Delegate Assembly, Linda Spalding has resigned from her position as the chair of the Ethics and Conduct Committee and has left the committee. A new chairman has not been appointed for that committee, but we did appoint a couple of new members to serve on the committee. Jim Nickel from District 3 and Dave Miller from District 5 are going to now serve on the Ethics and Conduct Committee. At the workshop this coming Friday, we're going to discuss a number of things, but probably the most pivotal ones on it are that we're going to discuss and see how people feel about the issue of leasing part of the clubhouse to an outside vendor of any kind. There seems to be some significant opposition to the community, some of which you've already heard. I'm just reinforcing that we'll be talking about it as well. And last would be the resident survey, which I believe is finally authorized, ready to go, and we are ready to execute as soon as we receive it. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much. Do we have a representative from the city of Banning today? Okay, treasurer's report.
Good afternoon. Okay. Good afternoon, residents here and on Channel 97. In Gary's absence, I'm going to present the financial report for June. This is based on June's financials. So the first income statement for June, of course, our monthly dues are right on budget year to date. We are a little behind in revenue, much of which is related to, I think, the social memberships, which is the $950 fee due to a little lower than budgeted sales on houses. Utilities are running ahead of budget that in terms of HOA expenses, a lot of which is the Spectrum contract, which we had budgeted for a lower rate, which we're realizing, but not earlier in the year. Land maintenance is under, much of that is tied to the fact that the golf course is running under budget. So the allocated maintenance, greenbelt maintenance is below. Swimming pools and spas is very close to on budget, running a little bit over on that contract. Planning and compliance and recreation are under budget year to date. A lot of that is tied to labor, an open position in recreation. And then property protection, that's the Securitas contract, is also running about 10% below budget year to date. And common area maintenance, and which is a lot of the repair and maintenance activities and also maintenance labor. And then administration. And a lot of the positive variance in administration is due to collections higher than expected and things around some of the legal fees around collections. So all in all, we are ahead of budget on the HOA. And then year to date in income, and we were positive on the HOA. Of course, golf is budgeted for a loss, but you can see in the variance column it's positive, meaning the losses in golf are not as high as we budgeted, but there are losses in golf. And then food and beverage, which this is incorporating now the losses for CCL, is running significantly higher than budget. And I do have some detailed June financials now from them, which I'll review here momentarily. So in total, the HOA has a very small loss in the month of June, but year to date is still positive and we're still running above budget. So just comparison to prior years, 2023 was just about 300,000. 24 was much worse than that. And in 2025, now, as you've just seen, we're over 400,000 year-to-date net income for this year. This is halfway through the year now. We've now had 6 months of our fiscal year. So in terms of our operating funds, the cash is 2.2 million, and that includes now that Spectrum payment. So this is very positive news. You've seen the graphs of how operating cash had declined. And so this will affect our liquidity ratio, which you'll see in a minute. We have outstanding bills of 1.5 million. And so now we're back in a situation again where cash and receivables exceed our outstanding bills by 1.1 million, which is the best it's looked in a long time. And the payable to First Service Residential is just under $500,000. So we're relatively current. A lot of that was a deferred, payroll. So the current ratio is that idea of, do I have enough liquid cash and current receivables that I could pay my bills before they're due? That's sort of the idea personally in our own lives. So in April, our bills exceeded cash and receivables by 158,000. It was worse than that in May, 255,000. And now you can see in June, it's quite positive. Again, the cash on hand being the Spectrum contract. So our current ratio, instead of being below 1, down to 5, where we're recommended to be between 1.5 and 3. So that's all very good news for us. In terms of the repair and replacement fund, we always have expenditures from this year to date. We're running close to budget. Our assessments, the reserve replenishment income is not as high as we had expected. Again, this is due to home sales. Investment income is good and expenditure. So our balance now is basically 12.5 million. And then the capital improvement fund, just for the month, has investment. There are no expenses against the capital improvement fund. So we're hovering right in the 1.3 million. And then this is a first slide that we're seeing. I'm going to take a chance in Gary's absence, but he's turned this information over to present to you where we are standing, trying to roll up some of the detail, but the revenue they do present to us as food sales, alcohol sales, banquet catering sales, and the corkage fee. So what you can see, the biggest issue really for CCL when you roll this together is that we're not making the target in revenue. And the target was based on what we would have budgeted what we had budgeted for this year with FSR running food and beverage. So we didn't make a new budget for them. Food and alcohol cost rolled together is just a little bit over budget. Labor costs, we're over budget in the hourly employees and under in the salary and management staff, but together labor is under budget. And then the direct cost and the management fee is just about right on budget. So you can see the total operating costs are a little bit under budget, but the overall performance is worse than projected by 66%. And again, that's because of the really being down in the revenue. In CCL, and I'm sorry, we got an email from Rachel just shortly before the meeting. She's had a flat tire, I think is what she said to her, and a family member who had a flat tire at the same time, and she's trying to deal with that. So her apologies for not being here. But they're planning a number of activities to try and draw all of you into the restaurant and into our activities and continue to grow the business and meet the needs of the residents. So we're running, the food and alcohol cost is on budget, but you can see the food as a percent of sales is higher than we had budgeted because the sales are down, but the costs are about the same. So this is really sorting through where we are with inventory and where we are with sales. So many of you have asked to see, are we getting the kind of details from CCL and financials? And so we did, the first partial month was April, and the month of May we did not, but now for June we do. So, and then I don't have an update for this. This is as it was through May. So I'm sorry, in Gary's absence, and now Chris is on vacation. I was away for 3 days. I don't have an update on the reserve expenditures, but I do want to say Jason and I met with this company yesterday. Why does that seem so long ago? Just yesterday, with this smart properties software that we have purchased to manage reserves. And this should be a really great product. They're going to come out and update. They'll come on site to update the reserve study. We're talking about a slightly different structure. For instance, we have 49 categories in which we have all our things that we own. And we want to try to consolidate that down to about 20 and simplify the process for taking actual invoices and booking them to the component, the item in our reserves that we're budgeted to take care of. And then should have not just a list of expenses, but actually some comparison of what we expected to spend and what we're actually spending. So that's kind of our promise to you about some additional meaningful reporting on reserve expenses. So I think that's my treasurer report. Thank you.
Okay, like she said, Rachel did have to leave. She had a family car problem and a personal car problem all at the same time, so she does apologize. We have spoken with her this week. We had a meeting with CCL. They do have some things coming down the pipe that are pretty exciting with a celebrity chef and the food channel they'll announce soon. Their webpage should be up shortly within the next 2 weeks. It's beautiful. We've seen it. And then they're really forward thinking on the NFL season coming up. And they're talking about Monday Night Football and Sundays and some of the different things they want to do. So with that being said, we're now at committee reports and recommendations. So if I can now start with the Bingo Advisory Committee. Okay. Common area, go. He's saying they can't hear me, and he's saying common area. I don't know.
Oh, good afternoon. As you know, I report all the time about how our committee inspects all the common area, which is what our charge is, the facilities, the buildings, the streets, the trees, the bushes. But one of the things that we really can't do much with is sidewalks. So I'm asking the members of Sun Lakes that if you do or you're out walking and you do encounter a place on the sidewalk that doesn't look as smooth as you think it should be, there might be a root that raises a piece of sidewalk or something such as that, and some damage, please let operations know. We try to get those things as quickly as possible. They're definitely a danger, as that thing was just a few minutes ago. I thought we were going to have a major issue. But anyway, people fall, and we need to make sure that we take care of that. So if you've got any problems with that, please give us a call, and we will address it as quickly as possible. Thank you.
EPAP.
Candace Jenkins for EPAP report. Good afternoon, Master Board, FSR, and residents. The repeater project is on track. The radio team will meet with the vendor soon. For those who do not know, this is the project where the radio team puts new repeaters on the top of the main clubhouse roof. The radios for administration, golf shop, maintenance, and Securitas will use these repeaters to talk via radios during any disaster or event. During the Wolf Fire, there was no communication between the radio team, Securitas, and administration. There was some false information put on Facebook by non-EPAP volunteers. This led to some confusion in the community about evacuation warning and orders. We are asking non-EPAP volunteers not to post on Facebook. Brian O'Grady has invited the past communities to join us this year during our annual drill. We will communicate via radio with the communities that participate. The drill will be held October 16th, 2025 at 10:16 in the morning. We are changing the name of our medical rescue team, MRTs, to First Aid Support Teams, FAST. Since we can only administer first aid during a disaster, this name change more accurately reflects the responsibilities of that team. Linda Myers-Kalb will be offering 5 first aid classes, so please contact her at 951-529-9087 for the dates and times of these classes and to register for them. EPAP has printed coded Genesee maps for the residents. These maps will show the residents which zones they are in. We suggest that these maps be placed in an area of easy access during the next fire. So during the next fire, you can easily refer to them if an evacuation notice is given. We will hand them out at the district delegate meeting. Please join us for EPAP 101 on Thursday, August 14th at 2 p.m. in the main clubhouse multipurpose room. We will have the radio team there to show you what they do and how they work with the other members of our past community. Thank you.
Finance Committee. Golf Committee.
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Callahan, Chairman of the Golf Advisory Committee. The GAC regularly makes recommendations to the Master Board regarding the maintenance needs of our 2 golf courses. These needs largely focus on turf conditions, trees, cart paths, and playability. Home values in our community benefit greatly from this golf course setting that provides the open spaces and landscaping that comes with a well-manicured golf course. Recommendation for golf course maintenance projects are made with the goal to improve the function and appearance of the golf course. The GAC would also like to remind residents of the numerous golf activities to participate in. There are women and men's golf clubs for both the championship and executive courses. In addition to these golf clubs, there are also many golf activities like pass putters, pitch, putt, and play, and Friday afternoon scrambles for residents to take part in, even if you are not a regular golfer. Golf is a great way to get involved in the country club community that you live in. If you have questions about golf activities at Sun Lakes, check out one of the many outlets for information or drop into the pro shop and talk to one of our knowledgeable golf staff. And remember, buy your brick soon.
Thank you. Library? Lifestyles? Marketing?
Good afternoon, FSR. Michelle Walter for the Marketing Advisory Committee. We have completed our real estate brochure, and I know that the board's already approved it, so this is it. You'll be seeing it pretty soon. We're going to have it printed. And our next welcome home is tomorrow evening, July 24th at 5 o'clock in the ballroom. We have 11 clubs that are participating tomorrow evening, and we have 40 residents that are coming to it. And I'm going to give you some stats. The following are the stats on the home sales in Sun Lakes from June 1st to June 24th. Excuse me, July. I'm back in June. Okay, active or coming soon are 56. 8 condos, prices from $299 to $365. 48 homes, prices from $329 to $554. In escrow are 25. 6 condos from $299 to $339. 19 homes, prices from $334 to $499. Closed escrows, 12 homes, prices from $325 to $600. 2 condos, prices from $330 to $342, $500. So if you take the 14 homes or the 14 that have closed, it would be 2310 times 14 gives us $32,340, depending if they were all new home buyers. Total closed escrows in June were 13 homes, no condos. So what went into our replenishment replacement fund was $30,030. And I wanted to read you a little something. Bonnie Seaver is the one that pulls all the stats up for me. And she says, sales have picked up. Inventory has fallen about 20%, which is good. More buyers are looking here at writing offers. Prices are still falling. And there's a little stats that she gives me, and there's arrows next to them. And those arrows in June, 100% of the homes that were on the market had to lower their prices to sell. In July, 100% of the homeowners have lowered their prices to sell. So hopefully this trend keeps going for sales and will turn around. And for this month, 30 of the homes that are on the market have lowered their prices. So they are selling. So we just have to be patient, and more money will be going into our reserve funds. Thank you.
Thank you, Master Architecture.
Good afternoon, David Marshall Keeley reporting for the Master Architectural Committee. Carefully read local building marketing advertisements. You get them every month, you get them weekly sometimes. We who live in Sun Lakes Country Club are a target by companies in their marketing. They consider us as low-hanging fruit, easy targets for a quick sale for their products or services. We desire security cameras, roll-down shades, windows and doors and patio covers, and paving, etc. for our homes. Companies can purchase a permit from the United States USPS Post Office. Their website says the following to explain how we get targeted from companies. It's easy for them. It's called the EDDM, the Every Door Direct Mail program. You don't need addresses, lists, or stamps for your direct marketing to put a name on the residence. You can purchase by zip code, choose the demographics, and by zip code to a target audience, and they will route your mail to the homes, our homes here, and the post office will deliver them. Whether you're having a sale, opening a new location, or offering coupons, EDDM can help you send postcards, menus, flyers, and more to the right people. And they consider us as the right people. Let me send you to the right department here at Sun Lakes to get help that you need to make any changes to your home. I mean, I look at this as an architectural planner and designer. There's a lot of cool things that I see in some of this mailing, and you like it too, but maybe we can and maybe we can't add them to our home. So you need to go to the Planning and Compliance Department. They'll help you with any changes to the exterior of your home. They'll guide you. They'll answer your questions about Article 7, the specific architectural standards, 7.1 through 7.35. That's a lot of information, but those are the guidelines that we're required to follow to help maintain the value of our community. So you can contact Etansla, the Planning and Compliance Manager, or Edgar, who is a staff person that works with us on a regular basis. So contact either one of them in Planning and Compliance. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Recreation? RV storage?
Good afternoon. My name is Jim Ball. I'm the secretary for the RV storage lot, standing in for Dave Puckett, our chairman. We didn't have a meeting this month because we're all traveling, as we all do with RVs. So anyway, this month, we did update our charter and submitted it to the master board. But there has been a lot of turnover in the past few months in our lot, and there are only 3 spaces left between 20 and 55 feet. To inquire about leasing an RV site, a resident can contact Julie Jacobson in the admin office. On a happy note, as you all are aware, there have been no negative incidences in our lot for a few months. But in closing, the RV Lot Committee is anxiously awaiting the board's possible action on future motion detection around the perimeter of the lot, and the possibility of increasing the patrols at night. We are anxiously awaiting your disposition. This would greatly improve the security of the lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Restaurant and lounge? Safety advisory?
Good afternoon, Board, FSR, and residents. My name is Michael Voles. I'm Chairman of the Safety Advisory Committee, and I'm here to give you an update on our committee. As we enter into the heat of the summer months, we expect increased activity in Sun Lakes, and along with this comes increased risks. We are expecting more guest visits, more traffic, and more deliveries throughout our community. Unfortunately, this tends to attract uninvited guests. Securitas continues to patrol regularly and enforce access policies, and we as residents can support these efforts by not propping open pedestrian gates and making sure all guests are properly registered at the main gate. Property damage and theft tend to increase also during these summer months. So we ask all residents to remain vigilant. Be aware of your surroundings, report suspicious activity immediately, and be sure your vehicles and homes are locked and secured when unattended. Mike Romero, our Director of Security, has updated the Sun Lakes fire evacuation policy and procedure guidelines to be coordinated with Securitas and EPAP. The Wolf Fire in June was close to Sun Lakes, and much of our community received a level 2 evacuation alert, though there were no evacuations ordered, but it reminds us all that we must be prepared if that ever happens. I'd like to give a shout out also to Candace Jenkins and Janice Rice for all you do for EPAP and coordinating with Securitas. You guys do a great job. Elements of the fire evacuation policy report include activation of emergency protocol, gate operations and access control, resident notification, ongoing coordination and site management, and recovery and return protocol. Additional recommendations are training and drills to improve response readiness, gate power backup in the event of a power outage, evacuation maps, which Janice talked about, made available to all residents. I'm sorry, Candace talked about. Emergency kits to be, every resident should have a to-go bag with your important documents, medications, and essentials in case we do have to evacuate. And the other thing is we need an updated, we do have an updated, and it needs to be continued to be updated, a vulnerable resident registry, which is an update of all the residents with mobility and medical needs who require assistance. None of us want an emergency, but we all must be prepared. Remember, keep your garage doors closed, keep your dogs on a leash, drive defensively, obey traffic signs and speed limits, and stop at all stop signs. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Securitas report.
Good afternoon, residents, Master Board, FSR. Thank you for having us. My name is Mike. I'm your Director of Security here at Sunlinks. With me is Lieutenant Roman. I'm here to provide your monthly stats. This is information you're going to be able to view online as well once I get done with this. So basically, it's a major incident review. The report covers key security-related events across the month of June and July. Following categories represent the most significant types of incidents that impact the safety, perception of security, and operational planning for our community. First category would be police called incidents. We had about 4 incidents that occurred within this time frame, with security officers having to activate 911 due to the following. Could have been for residents reporting suspicious or aggressive individuals, trespassers refusing to comply with patrol commands, welfare checks where a resident could not be reached. I can inform from the internal logs that at least 3 separate calls involved external law enforcement responses. Our takeaway on this is that our role is to de-escalate before external involvement is needed. So in case the call was justified and it's appropriate, we automatically activate 911 and have law enforcement come out to have their way in trying to help us out and assist wherever it's needed. The second category falls under confrontations. We've recorded 4 incidents which occurred through the months of June through July 15th, but others discussed informally or recorded under overlapping categories like resident assistance or police called. All involved verbal disputes, either between residents or with unknown individuals. Events were recorded late in the evenings between the hours of 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. as the most common time frame window when these incidents are taking place. None required physical intervention, though one was escalated to a police call for safety. The specific case involved a verbal altercation with a non-resident near one of our gates, which was resolved without injury. Confrontations also include disputes between residents and guests, individuals challenging the authority or actions of our security team, situations that escalate beyond courteous interaction. Our team has since reviewed and we continue to reinforce the de-escalation training and body camera use for accountability. My team is always recording every single incident when they're in the field, whether it be issuing a citation, doing welfare checks, or having any type of communication or conversation with residents. So for your safety and our safety, everything is always being recorded, and that's just to protect everybody that's involved in such situations. Next category falls into the suspicious activity. We had 14 incidents that were documented throughout that period, making this one of the highest single category counts for this report. Majority occurred after dark, indicating that late night patrol coverage is critical. Examples would include vehicles slowly driving through the community at odd hours, persons on foot near closed facilities, loitering or repeated drive-bys near community entrances. All were logged under an increased surveillance in affected areas. I've made it a point to increase our patrol coverage in a lot of our common areas and our gates, including the RV lot. We've ramped up patrol inside the RV lot to make sure that the units remain safe, and any suspicious activity is promptly reported to me. I will give directives into whether or not we should contact Banning PD, depending on the situation that calls. Trespassing would be our next category. We had 3 confirmed incidents involved. An individual accessing the community without authorization all occurred during the night shift between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m., prompting revised protocols for after-hours patrol. We anticipate more of these types of incidents as seasonal weather invites more foot traffic. Gate and access concerns is the next category. So we had 11 cases of unlocked or unsecured gates during the nighttime patrols. All were either inoperable gates were officially logged into this report batch through damaged gate repair, which was completed late in June. Timely communication with maintenance ensures that we are resolving these matters quickly to preserve access and security. 6, we had vehicle-related incidents. So we had 3 vehicular accidents and 1 case of property damage that were logged. Incidents were involved with residents. Minor injuries were reported. Nothing major, though, to report on that part. Number 7 would be fire, medical, and safety-related alerts. We had 6 related matters involving AMR and CDF, which were documented on this report cycle. Categories would be fire hazard, medical emergency, or general safety hazard. All were monitored closely, especially during high temperature months or during holiday periods. So our observations, there is a noticeable concentration of major incidents during the overnight hours this past month, particularly between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. Patterns suggest that most security concerns, including suspicious activity, confrontations, and trespassing, are occurring after dark, when visibility is lower and fewer residents are present outdoors. As Director of Security, I challenge my team to continue improved documentation practices and more active use of our reporting system and body cam usage. We continue to ensure all incidents are accurately logged and categorized in real time, allowing us to better allocate resources and adjust patrol strategies. Continued training cycle was launched back in March. I led that with Lieutenant Roman. We are emphasizing how to better de-escalate, proper incident documentation, and when to involve police when it's heavily practiced or needed. Gate patrol routines are adjusted based on early year trends and community feedback. Consistent documentation and tracking is underway to capture the true frequency of incidents across all of these categories that are listed above. In closing, I want to thank the board and Salt Lake's residents as well for taking the time to review this report with me. What you've seen reflects not just the incidents themselves, but the efforts of our security team, which is done every day. Often late at night and behind the scenes, we are here to keep the community safe and supported. While we've had our share of challenges, what's important is that we're identifying patterns, responding appropriately, and adjusting our patrol strategies to better serve you. Whether it's a call to police, verbal confrontation, or suspicious activity near a gate, we're addressing each situation at professionalism and care. Moving forward, we remain committed to being proactive, visible, and responsive, but we can't do it alone. Security works best when there's communication and trust between the team and the residents that we serve. If you see something, please continue reporting it. Every detail helps us do our job a lot better. Together, we're building a safer and more connected community, one shift, one report, one conversation at a time. Thank you.
Thank you. Management received an email from the chairman of the Finance Committee notifying the board that Steve Von Reich, I hope I said that right, has resigned from the committee effective June 21st, 2025. May I get a motion to approve his request?
I make a motion, we approve the request.
Second.
I second. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
EPAP request, first aid classes. Management received a request from EPAP Executive Committee asking the Master Board to consider reimbursing the cost of first aid certification for residents. The proposal includes certifying 24 residents per year with a training conducted in 4 classes of 6 students each. The total cost for this program would be $960. EPAP hopes the zone captains and coordinators will participate if the cost is covered by the association. The committee believes that increasing the number of certified individuals in our community will enhance the safety and readiness in the event of an emergency or a disaster. Do I have a motion to approve this?
I make a motion, we approve this.
Second. Discussion?
Yes, with the demographics indicating the aging of our community, the more people that are trained in this area, the better off it is for all of us. I think it's money well spent.
I would agree.
I agree as well. I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Master Architectural Committee rule change request. The management has received an email from the chair of the Master Architectural Committee requesting a revision in Architectural Rule 7.20I. The proposed change involves modifying the last section of the paragraph to restrict the planting of tall bushes in front yards where they could obstruct visibility for carts, bicycles, and other vehicles. If the board agrees with this proposed change, it will be posted for 60-day member comment period, with copies made available in the clubhouse, administration office, and electronically on the association's website. Following the 60-day review period, the proposed rule change would be brought back to the board for final approval or denial on September 24, 2025, during the open session. Please see the attached letter, which we have. Do I have a motion to approve this change to remove the tall bushes in front of people's homes? Apparently, how it's explained to me is that on some of the street corners, especially golf carts, their view is blocked. And so as they enter into an intersection, it's unsafe for bicyclists, cars, and golf carts. So I think that's the spirit of the law on what they're asking for the change. Do we have a motion to allow this 60-day period?
I make a motion that we approve the revision of Architectural Rule 7.20 subsection I to restrict the planting of tall bushes in front yards.
Second.
Okay, discussion. Is this, if this is enacted, I'm going to look at Jason, then if you have material, plant material, in these locations in excess of 4 feet, you must cut it back. There's no grandfathering in.
No, not with a safety concern like this. They would be given adequate time to come in compliance with the updated rule.
Okay, so this is what we're motioning and seconding is the 60-day comment period to hear from residents. So hear from you if anyone is opposed or has comments or input, and then we would vote to pass it. But doing so means if you have plant material in excess of 4 feet, you will be given a period of time to comply by trimming it. Is I'm saying that right? Okay.
Yes,
Great.
if approved by the board on the 25th
Yes.
of September. So
Okay.
You'll
I
second
just want to
that?
make sure that's clear. If you have 60-day period to comment.
Sure. You second the motion?
Okay, I did, or you did.
All in favor?
Aye.
Safety Advisory Committee recommendation. Management received a letter from the chair of the Safety Advisory Committee recommending the installation of additional signage, and pavement markings to improve safety in specific area of the community. The committee is requesting the following actions. Installation of stop signs. Approve the installation of stop signs on Birdie Drive at Fairway Oaks Avenue for both eastbound and westbound traffic. In addition, approve the placement of a stop sign ahead sign on the eastbound side of Birdie Drive at an appropriate distance before the intersection. That's number one. Number two, installation of a slow sign. Approve the installation of a slow sign on the light standard located at 1005 Riviera Avenue. The resident at this address has been contacted and has been given their approval for the sign placement. If approval, management will order and install the signage and will also coordinate the painting of the lines, the limit lines, for the additional stop signs.
I make a motion that we approve the recommendation of the installation of the signs as recommended by the Safety Advisory Committee.
Your second?
I would like to understand a little more about what's driving the request for the stop signs and slow signs.
I agree with that.
Speeding in our community, I think maybe the safety chair can mention or address it.
Yeah, Mike, if you
Address
could
it. Thank
give
you.
us a little more, I appreciate that, because we have a lot of stop signs here.
Yes, there have been multiple complaints about residents who live in that area about speeding of vehicles, not only residents, but delivery vehicles and so forth. And because there's no stop sign, at Birdie and Fair Oaks. It's like a runway right there. And if we install stop signs, it's going to slow them down and make us safer, make everybody safer.
Okay, the stop sign ahead sign, can you elaborate on that?
Yes, there's a curve there, and if they aren't aware that there's a stop sign coming up, they might have to brake quickly. So the sign would give them advance notice that there's a stop sign coming up so that they can prepare for it.
Is a speed bump an option, Mike?
That's coming up next month. But yes,
I'm not necessarily in agreement with both.
Right.
Possibly. But it's imperative, I think, that we put the stop signs in. That's number one. Number two, we can discuss speed humps later.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Jason, do we have somebody on board to give us legal advice on the stop signs and the slow sign and what the proximity is? Do we have an engineer we can reach out to make sure we're in compliance with California Vehicle Code? Thank you. Okay, I make a motion to postpone this until we get
Have a little more information?
Yeah, we need a little bit
Yes.
more information and do a little bit of background research. So I make a motion to postpone and look into it a little deeper. Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did Bob say aye?
Opposed? Aye. I think we could move on, with this because if you want to get additional input and advice, you can, but some of these things are, really safety issues that need to be addressed. And whether or not you want to spend the extra money for a speed hump or bump when you can put up a sign and accomplish the same thing. I think we might be neglectful, and just postponing and waiting and getting another report. My preference is that we follow the advice of the safety chair.
I recognize that, Bob. Thank you. My thought is one of the things we struggle with constantly in the community is people stopping at stop signs, which we complain about a lot, and speeding. And to me, a speed bump actually forces you to slow down when a stop sign is something you can ignore. That's kind of my thinking in terms of actually slowing people down.
If the speed bump's coming, the proposal for a speed bump's coming next week or next month, 4 weeks isn't going to hurt us to talk to an engineer to see what they think is best for our community. We have a lot of stop signs in here, and a lot of people don't stop at them.
Partly because there are so many. But
yeah, but the speed bumps seem to work pretty effective.
Mike's going to say something.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, if I can just add the contour of the street there, you have a downhill grade as you're going eastbound on Birdie towards Fairway Oaks, and so that increases the speed. Of course, the speed hump is going to help also, but the stop sign is going to work up there, I think, more so than the ones that they go through here on flat land. So that's just my opinion.
Oh, I appreciate that. So it was voted 2-1.
Mike. What's that?
We voted 2-1 to
postpone
for 4 weeks.
With a little more information. Not deny, but postpone.
Postpone, yeah. Members' requests. Management received a request for a resident asking the board to consider allowing the May and October community garage sales to be open to the public. This has historically been a highly debated topic within the community. Under the current policy, only residents and their invited guests, such as landscapers, housekeepers, friends and family, etc., are permitted to attend these events. Some residents believe that opening the garage sales to the public would increase participation, improve opportunities to sell unwanted items. To implement this change, Section 4.02 Community Rules, Item 28, would need to be amended. If the board wishes to proceed with this proposed rule change, it would be subject to a 60-day member comment period with notice posted at the clubhouse, administration office, and online. The proposal would be returned to the board for final approval. I want to have open discussion first on this. Bob, what are your feelings on this?
Yeah, my feeling on this is that the matter should be tabled. I don't think we should entertain that at this time. It puts us at risk with having people that are not residents here come during those times. And I think the yard sales are sufficient and controlled the way they are currently handled. And I would prefer not opening it up to outsiders.
I agree with you. Opening up our community under those circumstances is not in the best interest of the community. That's my opinion. Do you have an opinion?
Well, I'm compelled to lay this request against the outcry regarding the potential of the Cheers bar to invite people into the community to wander, at will. And then that would be like one at a time, and now we're going to bring crowds of people in for the garage sales. So I'm not in favor of this. It's like trying to strike that balance of allowing the public in and yet our safety concerns about having people in. I'm potentially interested in receiving resident comment for a 60-day period of time and seeing where we are and what the balance is in that period of people who are in favor of bringing the public into our facilities or not. But otherwise, I don't feel compelled to, we would not be approving at this time. All we would be approving is a comment period.
So I want to stay on topic, but I want to make a comment because you made a comment. If a real estate office comes into this facility, the rules don't change for them. Someone is not going to be able to come to our gates and say, I'm here to see the realtor, and just drive in. They're going to have to be on a list or escorted in, or they're going to have to contact that realtor in advance, just like they do at many other HOAs. So I just want the community to be clear on that. Number two, on the 60-day, I make a motion to deny this request. I firmly believe in protecting our community, and opening it up for public comment is just going to delay the inevitable.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Recreation Advisory Committee recommendation. Management received an email from the chair of the Recreation Advisory Committee recommending that the board direct staff to investigate options for roll-out covers on the veranda. That's the heavy vinyl like you see at restaurants throughout Southern California. The committee believes that by adding these roll-out covers, it would provide protection and insulation during the cold and rainy season, making the space more comfortable for residents and allowing scheduled entertainment and activities to continue regardless of weather conditions. They feel this improvement would encourage greater participation in community events held on the veranda during less favorable weather. I want to make a comment. I think it's a great idea. I've talked to people about this in the community, but I think if we're going to approve this for them to just look into it, I think they need to look into permanent heaters built into the I-beams up above and a misting system for the summertime, so that we really could use that piece of real estate year round. So that's just my two thoughts on that. Anybody have a comment?
Yeah, I think it doesn't hurt to just get some quotes and see what the cost is and get input from CCNL and the Restaurant and Lounge Committee too, to see what their input would be on this matter, because we're not making a decision. We're just investigating and getting some possible quotes to consider it.
Yeah, and if this is specifically addressing the cold weather and rain, this would be the time to do that if we wanted to implement something for the upcoming winter season. It's just directing staff. So this is, reaching out to companies, getting requests for information, getting some design ideas and potential costs. So it's,
I make a
consider
motion,
doing
we
that.
refer the matter to staff to obtain some information for the board.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So we have a facility use request from Banning High School Golf. The Banning High School golf team is asking to utilize the golf course. They have asked to use the course for two upcoming dates. Tuesday, October 21st, that's a great day, and Thursday, October 23rd, it is. 2025. On the 21st, Banning High School will be hosting their league finals and would like to reserve the front nine for this event. A total of 42 golfers will be playing 9 holes with tee times beginning at noon and last group teeing off at approximately 1:13 p.m. The round is expected to take 2.5 hours so that the front nine would be closed from noon to 2:30 on that day. The director of golf anticipates reopening the front nine around 2:30 p.m. They feel they can adjust slightly if needed. On Thursday, the 23rd, the top 20 players in the league and plus ties from Tuesday's event would return for an 18-hole match. We will closely monitor pace of play to ensure rounds are completed when the course's standard time of 4 hours and 10 minutes. They are hoping to start at noon, though we understand that with sunset at 6:08 p.m., a 12:30 p.m. or a 1 p.m. start time may be more suitable. I make a motion to allow the kids come out and play their club championship here. It doesn't affect us in the afternoon.
How did we get this request? Is this from David?
David submitted it after he got the request from the high school, yeah.
So that would be my question, that our pro shop
Yes.
is aligned with this scheme in timing and use.
Yeah, I spoke with David about this.
Okay,
in
and
advance.
that's the source of this? Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
Do we
long
need
as-
comments from the Golf Advisory Committee?
As long as the Golf Advisory Committee and the Director of Golf are okay with it.
Yeah.
This, in the past, several years ago, the Golf Advisory Committee did approve the use of this. Once we approve the use, that it doesn't interfere with golf activities really of the residents, they don't need to come back for golf advisory approval again, because we had approved it once going forward. So then they just approached the Director of Golf to make sure this doesn't conflict with anything happening within the community on that particular day. Now, I would add that this time is during the afternoon on these days. This is a time when the golf course isn't utilized all that much, and we do actually make revenue from this particular event
Okay.
as well. So it's a plus for the community every way around.
So this is not a donation to the school?
No.
Okay.
No, it's a time slot. And
Thank you.
and to have the league finals here is pretty, kind of a cool thing
Yeah,
for
it
the
is.
community, so.
I'll second your motion on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Board projects and activities, fact reserve reporting update, the implementation of smart property software.
So I spoke about this earlier in the finance report, forgetting I would have a slot here. So I don't have a lot to add to this, except perhaps a time frame. I think I want to say, Jason, I'm looking at Jason, we're 2 weeks away from hearing back from Smart Property with a proposed structure for our categories and components, which we will review. And then they will be sending someone out to do the updated reserve study and trying to dovetail this in with the requirements of our budget and ability to interact with the FAC. So I think, Jason, is there anything else you want to say or we should share? Oh, yeah.
No, I really, as staff, really looking forward to it. When every year in previous, and most communities are like this in the that I've been a part of, you get a reserve study, you get a big, 500-page piece of paper, booklet, and it's just there. You have to search through it, and you got to
sits on a shelf.
Right, it sits on a shelf. This here with this is a live, a live document to where we can go in and update. When we have invoices on one of the AC units, we can tie it to that AC unit and see, okay, how much have we spent on this component over the time? Is it time to replace it? Do we still have more, repairs that can be done on it? So we as staff are very excited to be able to use this as well, because it will help us maintain and keep track of everything better too.
Yeah, and I think, you pull things that are actually budgeted in the future and they need to be done this year, and then in the this thing will project out 10 years, you pull that forward and reduce the spend in that year. That gives you that flexibility and to level, we're supposed to spend, 10 million in this year. Oops. So it's live and it allows you to balance that. And what's important in the structure for staff is that they have invoices and can look at the invoice and easily find the category and the component, you go to a web page and you put in the dollar amounts and it tracks spend to that item. So
And like you were saying there, it allows us to go in and do some theoretical planning as well.
Yeah.
To where you're just looking, like I said, looking at just a document. Now you have something that you can go in and physically mess around with. And, what happens if we pull this out of this year and put it into this year? What does that do for us? It allows us to do that. So again, very excited for it.
technology solutions, so. Good.
It's going to be a
That's my
great
update.
addition to Sun Lakes for sure. Bob, do you want to comment on the survey?
The survey is going to be sent out with the district delegate newsletter. And I want everybody to make sure you take the time to review that. So give us information so we can make better plans and better choices, for our community. There's not that many questions on the survey. The district delegate assembly and the marketing committee did an excellent job of developing that survey. So please take the time to complete it and get it back to your district delegates. Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to reiterate that. It's all about you, so tell us about you. It should be fun.
Yeah,
Please
really,
send them in.
it's important. We're interested to see the results and share them with all of you and just see where Sun Lakes is right now so that we can better serve you. We're going to move on to the dog park. There's been a lot of talk about it. I'm new on the board. When I received the packet,
Here's a pointer.
thank you. When I received the packet last month, when it was brought up in the open board session, and I actually sat down and read all 3.5 inches of it. It dated back 17 years. And there were legal comments from attorneys and proposals from construction companies and notes from different management companies and different board members and residents. And when I read through it, I thought, oh my gosh, there's a lot of passion for this. And I went to the board and I said, maybe we need to rethink this. I don't know. And so we all kind of got together and talked about it. And we found a spot.
You found a spot.
Well, we found a spot that checks all
Joe
the
found a
boxes.
spot.
We found a place that checked all the boxes. So if we go to page 2 here, this is an overhead shot yesterday. The pickleball courts are on your left. The stairwell leading up to the clubhouse is on your right. The legal golf parking is right in the middle. And to the right on the street there is the legal parking and safe parking for cars. It checks all the boxes. Again, it's between the pickleball courts and the north clubhouse. Why it checks all the boxes is there's restrooms there, and there's fresh water for the animals, and there's shade for the dogs and for the residents when they're in there. Although it is not what we would consider an ideal location based on size, it's an ideal location based on safety for the resident, safety for the animals. There's no homes close by. It's accessible. And so we talked about it, and I went to Chris Mitchell and I said, Chris, there's a home across the street that's on fire, and it's a perfectly good home on fire, and there's flames coming out the windows, and I'm getting ready to walk through the front door. Will you walk through it with me? And he says, what do you mean? So I showed him this property, and I checked all the boxes. We got with legal approved it, insurances, take the photos, make sure you have the signs up, make sure everybody registers, and we're on board with the insurance. He goes, okay, I'll walk through the fire with you. So last Wednesday was a 4-0 vote by the board of directors. Last Thursday, construction began. The announcement today, and we're going to announce that on the table here, and they'll be at the lobby. We'll have a contest for the residents for the next 30 days to name the park, and there'll be a $100 gift certificate attached to the winner. So we want the community to name the new park. The announcement, yeah. So then the registration for the dogs will begin on September 2nd in the main office. And the soft opening will happen that same day. We'll be completed and ready to go at that time. And then the grand opening will be on the 8th. So I'm really proud of the community that they stuck to this. I'm proud of the dog owners group that helped us with this, and they stuck to it. It's just the right location. For 17 years, we've been looking for a suitable place, and now it checks off all the boxes. Congratulations to Sun Lakes HOA. This is going to be a big addition, not only for the residents that live here now, but for future residents that are considering buying here. It's a new amenity that I think is going to really help us a little bit. I really do. So construction highlights, all the hedges have already been removed. The safety curve's been installed. Decomposed granite DG will be replacing where the hedges were for the animals to use the restroom. The fencing's already been installed. I welcome all of you to go across the street and look at it. We've ordered cameras. The CCT cameras were something that the insurance company wanted us to have. Park benches have been ordered, doggy comfort station, park trash can, keypad for the lock to get in and out. The dog water station's been ordered, and the rule signs. All this will be up and ready to go on September 2nd. So all of you dog owners out there, I hope you enjoy this. Okay, it's time for board member comments. I think we're at the hour 20 mark. That's not too bad. So Bob, you want to start us off?
Yeah. Recommended session. I like the idea on the floor and equal to the membership. I think it's better than up there and away. I like the idea of comments from the membership at the beginning.
That was
because
Sandra's idea.
A lot of people do leave, during our session. So I really want to thank Joe, and if you also agree, let Joe and the other board members know that you prefer the changes, because we're here to serve you. And then lastly, and most importantly, we will be having a town hall on the repurpose of the Cheers bar. So that'll be sometime in August, probably towards the end of August, once we begin the process of working on our annual budget, which is the big task at hand. So no decisions will be made without your knowledge or your input. So that will be coming up. So just to be aware. And that's it. Thank you.
Sandra, you have comments?
Let's see, I don't have a lot of comments. I do want to thank Joe for defining the dog park. It's a great thing. And it would be great to hear, actually, this was a comment I got from a resident at a district breakfast about having comments first, and we decided to implement, a little bit like city council. There's some other aspects that city council has for comments in their agenda. We can talk about that as a board. So I'm glad that hopefully is well received, and look forward to your feedback. Fill out your survey, and I think we will soon be starting the budget process. And so that will be a focus of the board coming up. I think that's all I have.
Thank you. All I want to close with is this. It's been 3 months on the board. 3 months? Whew. That's all I can say. My goodness. I can't speak for anybody else, but so far it's been an e-ticket ride, and just hold on. There's a lot more coming. So thank you for attending today, and we'll adjourn the meeting. Good afternoon. We're going to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody that's here, good afternoon, and everybody on Channel 97, good afternoon. Don Day and Gary Burkle are on vacation and will not be here today. Today, the board sits arm in arm with the business partners of FSR and CCL, advisory committees, district delegates, and residents. We feel together, stronger as one. So we will not be on stage today. The format for today's meeting is a little different than in the past. We will take public comments in the first half of the meeting instead of at the end of the meeting to ensure all comments are heard by guests. The Master Board's working very hard to keep us safe, enhance our amenities, and protect our financial well-being as an HOA. In August, you will be receiving a survey. The survey is very important. Please take the time to fill it out and return it to your district delegate. This survey will help us better understand who lives in Sun Lakes and how we can better serve you. Summer's in full swing now. That means our insurance renewal and annual budget work begins for 2026. The board has interviewed 2 new insurance brokerage firms over the past month, and they are working at this time on getting us competitive quotes for 2026. Our goals for the coming year in the budget is to have a clear understanding of what our true costs are and to ensure we have a workable, sound budget. Since COVID, prices on everything seems to have skyrocketed and increased quite a bit for all of us. We want to make sure that we are current with our paying our bills and have the proper reserves in place so that when things arise, we're prepared. When the board selected our new food and beverage company, they acted on behalf of the HOA in a proper fiduciary manner. The board will review all major contracts in the coming months to make sure that Sun Lake residents are receiving the very best services at the very best prices. It is our duty, and we will do the best for you. And lastly, our brick donation program goal is almost met to begin the new clock tower project. Orders will go out soon for the clock and the bricks. So if we haven't ordered your brick yet, please submit your brick order in the pro shop as soon as possible because time is running out. Thank you very much. The executive session, Jason?
So I just want to remind everybody, please silence your cell phones so they don't go off during presentations. And I want to make sure Lieutenant Roman is going to give just a brief summary of what's going on here in Sun Lakes. And I want to make sure that when we have questions and answers, make sure that you wait for the microphone. Shannon will be doing one side and I'll be doing the other. You must speak into the microphone. Otherwise, they won't hear you on Channel 97. So make sure you wait and we'll take questions after the presentations. So Lieutenant Roman, if you want to come up, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walter. Can you hear me okay? Okay, perfect. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Sun Lakes. My name is Lieutenant Roman. I'm filling in for our director, Michael Romero. He's feeling a little under the weather today, so I'll be doing his report. The third quarter of 2025 has presented our community with a unique set of challenges, primarily centered around a concerning increase in vehicle-related incidents. While the overall crime rate within Sun Lakes Country Club remains low, these specific issues demand our attention and demand a proactive response. Our records indicate a notable uptick in minor and major vehicle accidents within and around the community, particularly in and around the main clubhouse parking lot, Country Club Drive, and the intersection between Gate 3s and 4, as well as outside of Gate 5. While most of these incidents are mostly minor fender benders, they are indicative of a growing need for enhanced traffic control and increased resident awareness. Contributing factors appear to be distracted/intoxicated driving, an increase in vehicle traffic during peak hours, and a general lack of situational awareness while driving that leads to an avoidable accident. In tandem with the rise in vehicle accidents, we have also received multiple reports of near misses involving pedestrians both within our community and at our vehicle gate entrances. The recent increase in vehicle traffic has highlighted the need for renewed focus on drivers yielding to those on foot. Please refrain from walking in and out of the vehicle gates. Please use the pedestrian gates when walking into and out of the community. Administration can help you if you need a key. We are fortunate that no serious injuries have been reported, but this is a trend that we cannot allow to continue. Finally, a more unsettling trend has emerged, a rise in reports of residents being harassed in the clubhouse parking lot, specifically during the popular weekly bingo nights. These incidents range from verbal altercations to individuals' vehicles being tampered with. In response, we have implemented a new security protocol. Our patrol schedule has been adjusted to ensure a dedicated security presence is stationed at the clubhouse parking lot for the duration of every bingo event. Our officers are instructed to maintain high visibility and to intervene promptly in any situation that appears to be escalating. Our goal is to ensure that Sun Lakes Country Club remains a safe and peaceful environment for all of its residents and guests. Please do not hesitate to reach out to our department. Thank you.
Okay, so our next presenter is going to be Guillermo from the San Gregorio Memorial Hospital. You can either use this one.
Yeah, can I take it off? Hello. I gotta come to the bingo nights, apparently. I know, I'm gonna have to park my car outside. Anyways, hi, does anybody remember me by any chance? One. Yeah. Okay. Well, my name is Guillermo. I'm here representing the hospital that you guys have next door, San Gregorio. I came here about a year and a half ago, and that's when we were taking the major project to achieve primary center stroke status, okay? So now I'm coming here as a way to give you guys a big update because this is benefiting the community in a big way. So first, what's a stroke? And today is going to be focused on neurology. We have a second guest who's going to expand in that topic and talk about other things. But a stroke is a medical emergency. Your brain is dying, and it could happen in two ways. We could have a little clot that blocks the blood flow, and then your brain begins to lose oxygen. And you can have a rupture of the little blood vessel, the artery, which then leads to a hemorrhage. Now, 80% of the strokes are the little clot kind, okay? And that could happen spontaneously. It could happen also sequentially. Maybe people get like something called a TIA, where they get symptoms, but then they resolve. But then eventually it could lead to an actual stroke. 80% of them are that kind, but that's important to know because those are the ones that we can help you guys with immediately, okay? The other kind, those are much harder to deal with because you have to think there's going to be blood going into the brain. And how do you get that blood out? You're going to have to open up the skull, right? So those are higher level of care. But again, the majority of strokes are a little clot just in the artery system, prevents the blood flow, and then the brain begins to die, okay? So what's a primary stroke center? A primary stroke center is a way for a hospital to manage stroke patients efficiently, quickly, and standardize the protocol for everybody that comes, okay? How do we do that? Well, we have to literally bring the whole hospital and coordinate physicians, nurses, technicians, the executive team. We have to have commitment from the CEO saying you're gonna have to support all of these things. We had to purchase 2 brand new CT scanners. We had to get an MRI trailer. We had to standardize order sets, educate the physicians, get a neurology, I mean, I can go on. And that took about 2 years to build that up. And when I came here, we were about in that stage. We had achieved certification by the Joint Commission as a primary stroke center after doing all of that. And they came in person for a whole day to review our program. Once that happened, we got the official certification from the Joint Commission. Then, recently, this is the big update, as of December 1st of last year, we became a receiving facility. Right there, EMS Stroke Receiving Center, as of December 1st, 2024, certified on May 10th. That changed the game for us because I don't know if you guys know, but this is our location right there, right? Look around it. There isn't any other hospitals. If you look at the heat map, that's just the density of that purple color. That's where all of our stroke patients were being diverted to in this community. They were going to, you can see Desert Regional, RUHS, Kaiser, all these big hospitals, right? The problem with stroke, though, it's a medical emergency. If you don't get to a hospital and you got to drive all the way over there, then you're losing valuable time that could potentially save your brain. So there was a need for the community to establish a center within these bounds, so that number one, we can capture you guys and treat you right away, and you don't have to be taken to these other hospitals. And that was the big goal, but it took a long time, and we actually did it. And now I'm going to speak to how that works, how it can benefit you if you're having this horrible thing, and what to do about it. Okay, we're also going to go and talk about how you can prevent this, because it's not just about getting treatment. Is you have to have personal responsibility about your own health, because you can prevent a lot of these things. Okay, so we have a co-stroke process, and we go out there in the community and we teach this little acronym, be fast. Oh man, all the resources are gone. I left you guys some resources there just to speak more about that. Okay, but be fast is a simple acronym that anybody can know to identify if somebody's having a stroke. Okay, this is what we teach everybody, including all of our employees, so that they can identify strokes within the hospital, okay, if they're not clinical. The first one is balance. Be fast, B for balance. If all of a sudden I'm walking and I like, what's going on? I can't catch my balance. There could be a stroke in the cerebellum, which controls your balance. Remember, your brain controls everything. Your motor coordination, your sight is translating photons into a signal and then changing into an image. You're hearing things. Every emotion, everything you do is controlled centrally by your central nervous system. So now think about it. If you have a little clot somewhere in the brain, imagine the complexity, right? And whatever tissue is downstream from that clot is going to be dying. Now, who knows what that's controlling? It could be your speech. It could be your balance. So that's why strokes are hard to identify. And that's why we have to have a standardized process and education so that you guys know what to do. Because it can be looking very different from one person to another, okay? So this helps narrow it down. But there's still more things. For example, nurses have an NIHSS certification, and they have like 11 components of that. So they can look at other things like ataxia, which is coordination, right? But this is covering pretty much everything, right? Again, B for balance, E for eyes. If all of a sudden I'm seeing double, or I'm losing partial vision in one of my visual fields, or in both, which is called bilateral hemianopia, it can be because guess where the clot is? In the visual cortex in the brain, okay? So next we have face. That's the most common one. We see that a lot. People come in and they have a droopy face. However, it can be mistaken for something else. Who knows what it could be mistaken for? Yes! Damn, you guys are educated. I love it. So people come with facial droopiness. It could be a stroke. It could be Bell's palsy, which is an infection of the facial nerve. So it's a different disease process because remember, stroke is in the brain. It's actually brain tissue dying. This thing is just affecting peripheral neurons, okay? So anyways, the point is we need to know that this is bad, and then we act upon it. Second, or fourth, arm. Now for arm, just think about one side of the body. It could be the arm, it could be the leg. But with stroke, it's very important that you guys know that these symptoms need to happen unilaterally or in one side of the body. Who knows why? The brain has two hemispheres, right? And the two hemispheres actually contra-wired. The right side of the brain controls the left side of the body, and the left side of the brain controls the right side of the body. So remember, there's a little clot somewhere, and it's going to be either on the right side or the left side. So therefore, stroke symptoms have one thing that makes them distinct from other things. And that is that what you're feeling, whatever it is, based on these things, would only happen in one side of your body. Make sense? For example, somebody can come and be like, I got weakness in both my legs. It started about 6 hours ago. We're not going to think stroke right away, but we're still going to check. As opposed to somebody's like, hey, I got weakness on my left leg that started 6 hours ago only. That's more concerning, right, for stroke. It's starting to make sense? Yeah? All right, then we have S for speech. Speech is two things. You have aphasia, which is the inability to collect your thoughts. For example, all of a sudden, I could be I don't know what to say. That's aphasia. You have dysarthria. That means that you're speaking and you can connect your thoughts to your mouth, but you lost control of your motor, control of your tongue and all that stuff. So it sounds like you're drunk. I can't make that impression, but I'm pretty sure somebody at the bingo night, you'll know what I mean. Okay? That's what it looks like, right? Concerning, but it's real. It sounds like you just can't formulate your words, kind of like when you're drunk. Okay? Then you have time, and that's the most important thing. Who here knows the time component about stroke? What can we do for you guys? What window do you have? Yes. It's 3 hours, and then it could be extended up to 4.5 hours with exclusion criteria, meaning that we have 3 hours, but let's say the person is not as, doesn't have things like diabetes. That's one of the things. Then we can extend it up to 4.5 hours. So just remember 3 to 4.5 hours is the window you have to act. If you don't, then it's going to be very unlikely that we could do something for you. And I'm going to explain why. Any questions on this? No? Okay. Well, this is how much damage your brain is taking during an acute ischemic stroke. Look at that. Look at the seconds. Even a second wasted means you're losing a lot of neurons. Okay? Yes. Oh, somebody told me about I thought you guys were going to have a big one right here. But per stroke, we're losing about 1.2 billion neurons. Per hour, 120 million. Per minute, 1.9 million. And per second, 32,000. It's just a reference to let you know that this is happening very quickly. But there's one sad thing about the stroke process, and that is that it doesn't have any pain associated with it. And that's what I've seen is the biggest thing, because when people come to the hospital, what's the main reason they come to the hospital? Something hurts, right? People have heart attacks. Trust me, they'll know they're having a heart attack because it's got chest pain, right? You break your bone, anything. Strokes can happen while you're sleeping. We call them wake-up strokes. You don't know. There's no pain. You wake up, it's already bad. We can't do much for you. That's why this is scary. And that's why you guys should take this. I take it seriously. Everything I tell you guys, I don't just preach it. I'm conscious that I can also get a stroke. Anybody can, right? It's just a deterioration of your health if we don't take care of it. Okay? So, any questions on the post-stroke process? Yes.
Where was the question? Okay.
I'd rather take questions as I go. That way people don't
That's fine.
forget.
This goes back to the 3-hour window. With the hospital so close, what's the best transportation? Would it be to call 911, take them yourself?
The best thing I can tell you guys is activate the 911 response system. Because when you take it upon yourself to go to the hospital, I don't know what's going to happen, right? You got to find somebody. You're not going to be driving. You can't use your legs, or maybe you can't even see. So it's up to the individual, but we always educate everybody to call 911, because not only will they bring you right away, but they're going to bring you and give us all the information that we need before you get there. And that's invaluable, because when you show up, we don't have nothing on you. We got to figure out everything from scratch. When did it start? Blah, 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 blah. But when you come through EMS, not only are they doing it much quicker, but they have all of the assessment tools and medical professionals, because who knows what else could happen during that time, right? A lot of people get strokes and they also have atrial fibrillation, which can cause other problems. And you need to be monitored. So that's my answer to that question is I would say activate the 911 response system.
About the time, when the clot begins, and then we get to the hospital within that window, can you reverse it?
Mm-hmm. That's the whole point of a primary stroke center, is we can do something. And that's the biggest thing that people don't know. There is a treatment that we do. It's called a thrombolytic. We'll get into it. We'll talk more about it. And I'm going to tell you guys how all that works. Okay? Question, sir?
Some of the symptoms that you're talking about related to strokes, would a brain MRI detect that?
The brain MRI is part of our workup process. But an MRI, anybody had an MRI before? How long does it take? A long time. So in the sense of the diagnosis of a stroke, remember, we're trying to move quickly. So the MRI is left for the post-acute phase to evaluate what damage, if there's any, in the brain. In the initial phase, we use tomographies, which are quick.
Yeah, so if you're having problems, I walked into the garage. When I got there, I forgot why I went in there. I don't know where my keys are. I lost them. Is that just?
I would say it depends on, because I forget things all the time. I'll literally be walking, I'm like, what was I doing? So
Yeah, my doctor refers to it as OA, old age.
but I would say if that's happening and then you see your facial is droopy, or all of a sudden, hey, my hands are weak, in combination, right? Then I will be, yes, act upon it. But we've had people that come in just for altered level of consciousness, which is what he's referring to. But they're very altered and they have the inability to really just be who they are. And that could also be a stroke, yeah.
Go ahead.
What do you do if somebody arrives with a hemorrhagic stroke?
When we have a hemorrhagic stroke, number one, they're showing up right away. Now, I'm going to speak to the process so you can see how it's benefiting you. But for hemorrhagic strokes, it depends a lot on the patient. We could have a stable hemorrhage, which means that the person is still awake. They might be having a few deficits, but they're still awake and stable, vital signs. You could have a hemorrhage that is literally taking you out. You got to be intubated, and we got to put you on medication to sedate you, bring your blood pressure down. It's a big spectrum. But what we do is we identify the bleed right away. We have standardized protocols to help you in that very critical phase, which is usually two things. We need to reduce your blood pressure rapidly, because the thing that caused the hemorrhage was most likely high blood pressure. Second, we try and reduce your intracranial pressure because of the blood that's leaking out. We try to do that with medications as well. But you will be evaluated by a neurologist, and the neurologist is going to stick with you because you're going to be sent to a higher level of care at Loma Linda. And I'm going to tell you why we do Loma Linda and how that whole thing works. But basically, their neurology, all their neurosurgeons, all their neurologists are working with us in partnership. So we'll send you where you need to go and get you fixed up for that.
Okay, my internal medicine doctor, I had a CAT scan or something for some reason, and he gave me the results and everything looks good. He says, I do see that you had a little stroke a couple years ago. Okay, so I'm wondering, he can see that in there. Does that mean I'm susceptible to more strokes? Or why is it, you know, how do they see that and I'm just walking around?
So when you have a little stroke like that, we call them lacunar strokes, right? So it's just very minor. But the way we find out is once the brain tissue is dead, then it looks different in the CT scans. So that's how they're able to figure out that you've had an old prior stroke. Now remember, the brain is also very incredible. Even when you're having a stroke, it'll try to fix itself. The reason your blood pressure goes up during a stroke event is because the brain is trying to put blood into itself. So the brain will adapt. Even people that have strokes, right, they come out of that stroke and they recover, right, if we have to give them the tools. Why do you think that happens? Because the brain is plastic. It can evolve, and we've discovered, and she can agree, that the brain is plastic up until old age. It's always rewiring itself based on what's going on. Okay?
Go ahead.
All right. So moving forward, you guys know the damage. So why we're here? Well, stroke, believe it or not, jumped from number 5 to number 4 as far as the cause of death in the United States. Number 4 cause. Think about it. That's huge. That's a lot. In our region is one of the top 3 emergency calls. You or somebody you know are often why people survive, because when it's happening, they really cannot act, right? So we rely also on their support group to help them out and identify, because maybe they don't know, but you do. And you could be like, hey man, you're having a stroke, call 911, okay? So our purpose is to build a regional stroke response system working with REMSA, that's the ambulance system, to have an efficient process to just treat the patient, okay? And we have access to all of the tools to do this 24 hours a day, okay? And it's basically, it doesn't matter what time, it doesn't matter if it's day or night. the process and the team is the same. Okay, it's the same quality that you receive because it's it's just the process that we did. We took really good care about having an actual community focused program that can allow you guys to get the treatment that you need. Okay. So stroke protocol, speed plus precision. So this is how it works. To my friend that was asking about hemorrhages, number one, we identify it, right? That's what we say. Go to 911. They're gonna come. They're gonna do an assessment. It's a pre-hospital assessment where they're gonna figure out if you're actually having stroke-like symptoms. Okay. Then they actually give us a heads up. We activate the code stroke before you guys even show up, before the patient shows up. They give us a call. Hey, we'll be there in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. Okay. We activate it overhead when they call and then once again when they arrive so that the team is literally right there. After that, the ambulance specific for this diagnosis, only for code strokes, has basically the ability to go into treatment immediately. They don't even get registered. They go straight in front of the CT scanner, which is in our ER. Why? Because again, we're trying to be quick. The time is limited. Once we activate the code, like I was telling you guys, even before they show up, we have a whole dedicated team. Every shift has a stroke-specific nurse who handles the code and then hands off report once everything's done to your primary nurse who will take care of you afterwards. We have a neurologist and a neurology team who come in person Monday through Friday. And we also have a virtual medium for when they're not here off hours. So you always have access to a neurologist. The team also has an ER physician that shows up. Like I said, charge nurse, stroke nurse, technician, they all have individual roles. And we do that everything really quickly in a little pit stop to get your blood, to get your information. The charge nurse places all the orders. And I would say within 5 to 10 minutes, you're already getting your brain scanned. Okay? So it's a really fast and streamlined process, but that's what we have to do. So to my friend that was asking about hemorrhages, in that whole process of identifying a code stroke, we'll find out if somebody has a bleed or if it's not bleed related. The first scan that we do actually is just to rule out that there's no blood in the brain. Okay? However, we also included tools that could enhance our program to even give us more efficiency. We implemented a VIS artificial intelligence program within our PACS. That's just the imaging system that allows for the images of the studies to be processed. And as soon as you get that scan done, which has already happened very quickly, you guys heard about artificial intelligence, right? It's getting crazy. It's really taking over the whole world. But especially in medicine, it's going to make big advancements, but I would say everywhere. So just to give you an example, this artificial intelligence, once we scan your brain, it'll immediately detect if there's any blood in it. We don't, like the doctor is going to see the study, but we have a screening beforehand where very accurately we can know, okay? If that's negative, then it's not going to alarm anything, but we have basically a screening system even before the physician gets to see the images to let us know we should act right away, okay? Additionally, we have a second algorithm, which is called an LVO algorithm. That stands for large vessel occlusions. So the second study that we do in the scan is the same one, but we put contrast in your arteries. And that'll tell us what's going on in the whole vasculature. Remember, stroke is a vascular disease. So there's something going on in the arteries. And that'll detect if you have a large enough clot where we can do something else besides the chemical dissolving of the clot. You can do something called a thrombectomy. And that's for people that they have a really large clot that might not be dissolved fully by this treatment that I'm going to talk about. And they can get the clot retrieved manually through the groin. They go all the way to the brain and pull it out. And that can be done up to 24 hours. So when we call out code stroke, we have two criteria: a last known well of less than 24 hours and a positive BFAST assessment. Remember, we could only help the initial phase up to 4.5 hours and actually give you the drug to dissolve the clot. We cannot give it past that time because now it's going to be a contraindication. Why? Because when you're having a stroke, remember, your brain tissue is going to die. So the body's going to react. It's going to send the immune system. It's going to increase fluid, blood flow, all these things. And the longer it goes, the more risky it is to give that medication. Make sense? That's why there's a time component. So as far as our stroke protocol, that's kind of like the general perspective of it. That's how it happens. It's very smooth and efficient. And you guys are always going to have the same process because it's the best we can do for everybody. Okay. Now, after December 1st, when we actually became a stroke receiving facility, that was a separate survey, by the way. We had to get cleared through REMSA. The whole agency had to come on a different day and ensure that we have the appropriate resources, tools, staff, everything to ensure that we receive this designation. And they gave us a 5-year contract, and we've been doing that for the last 6 months. Now, what does it mean, right? Like, what changed? Well, a lot changed. You guys can see our numbers for 4 months of data. That's usually when I was barely kind of collecting data when we were about to become primary stroke. From that date, we only had about 30 stroke patients in the hospital. We activated about 17 code strokes, and then we gave thrombolytics only at 3. That's just speaking to the fact that because we didn't have any of these things, people are not going to come to the hospital. I forgot to mention one thing. It's a protocol and a procedure by EMS that if you have a stroke and you're in the area, by their policy, they're going to take you to the nearest designated stroke center. So it doesn't matter if the hospital was 2 blocks from here because it didn't have any of these certifications and designations. They're not going to take them there. So that's why we saw a huge jump in numbers. It wasn't because all of a sudden more people were having strokes. It's because now people can actually come to our hospital based on these offline protocols.
3, 2, thank you, Etanisla. 1, 0.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Delegate Assembly meeting for August. I'd like to have everyone please stand. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and the first item on the agenda is basically to review the minutes from the July 3rd meeting. Yeah, you might want to turn off your phones too. That would be a good idea, me included. Does anyone have any changes or modifications to the minutes? Anita?
Yes, in the delegates present, it shows Michelle Walter for District 18, but I also was present. I arrived late, and
Testing.
that just needs to be added.
Thank you, Anita. Anyone else? Barbara?
Under announcements from the Board of Directors, it says HOA insurance coverage is being review to increase coverage at fair rates. I thought the discussion was about insurance for homeowners. Wasn't it?
No, it was, I believe, the problem that the association has. The budget is quite a bit under what they're being quoted. So they're going out to seek new proposals for insuring the HOA. Am I correct in that, Jason? That is correct. Thank you.
Okay. I misunderstood when they were talking about it.
You might want to strike the word increase. We're not really trying to increase
Well, and
protection, are we?
Well, actually, yeah, increased protection, yes.
Okay.
And the word review should be reviewed. And then at the end, it says the next regularly scheduled district delegate assembly meeting is September 4th. And since these were the minutes for July, it should be August 7th.
That's correct. Anyone else with changes or modifications? Kathy? Microphone, please.
Oh, yes, sir. Is it on? Okay. Is it on? Okay. On page 2, under
announcements, delegates. Bullet 3, there's a typo. It should say EPAT can provide a list of items, not of list of items. It just, of should be a.
Okay.
That's all.
Anyone else?
Oh, I believe there's an error on the pitch and putt. It's pitch and put.
Where is that?
Under announcements, delegate.
Yeah, we need a T. Put becomes putt with a T, so we'll put a T in. Is that good? 2 T's, yeah. We'll put in one more T. That gives us putt. Anyone else? Then we need a motion to adopt with the modifications as specified. It is moved. We have a second from B, and all in favor, raise your hand. No in opposition. It is passed unanimously. Okay, I'm going to ask, I didn't put it on here, are there anyone that wants to modify in any way today's agenda as it's written? If you want to do it, now's the time to do it. Anything you want to add or bring to it? No? Okay, we'll move on to the chair report. The resident survey progress is that all of the newsletter deliveries included the survey from the master board. Currently, they will be filled out and returned to the delegates at their place of residence. The delegates will then tabulate them and send them to Dave Miller to complete a summary analysis of all the numbers by September 4th. But the delegates will retain the actual surveys because Michelle Walter wants them for the marketing committee, specifically for the comments. There's a workshop scheduled on the 21st of this month. This one's going to be in the multi-purpose room at the main clubhouse. We also have received a couple of resignations. Unfortunately, Loretta Kuzar from District 2 has resigned. This leaves District 2 without a delegate or an alternate delegate. So if anybody's listening out there in District 2, there's opportunity. I will say that Priscilla Jaskar, who has lived there for many years, has performed the role as a delegate previously, has been super helpful, I'm sure, to Loretta when Loretta was doing the job, but just in talking to her, she's kind of being the delegate de facto, even though she's not wearing the title. So I really, really appreciate her help. They also received a resignation from Saucy Hyatt in District 11. And that leaves just the alternate of Lori Walter there. Well, that's yes. She's not just, but we only have one half of the equation.
Oh.
Yes. What did I say? Oh, sorry. No, it is Lori Hazelton. Which off to a good start. Absolutely. CCL has established a new website, a dining website for Sun Lakes. It's currently linked at the sunlakescc.com site. If you go there and you click on the dining tab, it will actually take you to a completely new website that they have built and put up on the web. To my knowledge, it's not currently available through the mobile app. It's good now? Okay, you can get to it through the mobile app as well. That's great. A week or so ago, the delegates and alternates all took an evening to do a nice potluck dinner with everybody that wanted to come, and I thought it was actually quite a lovely night. Everybody seemed to enjoy doing that. And in case you guys haven't seen it, it's right in front of you. I put a 2026 schedule of all the delegate meetings for that year, and I also put an updated delegate roster in front of you. That includes the changes from District 2 and District 11. And that's it from me. For standing speakers, I believe Janice Rice is standing in for the EPAP, taking the place of Candace Jenkins, who normally speaks.
That was too quick. Good afternoon, I'm Janice Rice, District 13, but also EPAP, Public Information Officer. In front of all y'all is this wonderful tied gift of maps. These maps are the zones for evacuation. During our last fire, we were given a level 2 warning of evacuation. And along with that were all these letters, BAN, B-A-N, with numbers that corresponded with each one of them. And it threw quite a few people off. So if you are familiar with Genesis, Watch Duty, and CAL FIRE, these are the letters and numbers they use to indicate what areas are being evacuated. So if you look on your map, now I will tell you the D13 in purple is wrong, but you go up above it. D13 fits into that yellow, which you guys don't care because that's my district, but I'm just clarifying it. So when you look at this, the colors coordinate with the a number down below, and it says Genesis zones. So if you're in District 5, you're going to be BAN, B-A-N, banning, 0523. This is something that each and every one of your residents should know, because this is going to help clarify any mix up when people say, oh, we're being evacuated. Well, where are you? What group are you in? Something else that needs to be clarified is the levels of evacuation. What CAL FIRE uses, Watch Duty and Genesis uses level 1, which just means you better, there's a fire, beware. Level 2 is ready, set, which we all should be ready to go anyway. That's what preparedness is all about. And level 3 is go, get out. So these are all really important. Now I want to share because this makes a really big difference. I didn't get these to you guys in time for them to be in your newsletter. I apologize to you for that. The shuffle wasn't there and I should have done it. But Courtney from Lifestyles Magazine is putting it in there, and she is taking out where it says district map at the top. It's going to say evacuation map. So hopefully that will clarify for a lot of people what this map is. And then if we get together, so this takes me to the next portion of what I'm going to talk about is starting very soon. We are going to be, and I didn't bring my paper in front of you also, I handed them out, our dates. We're going to start training for our wonderful shakeout drill. And it is for every resident. We really encourage, like heck we encourage the zone captains to come, the EPAP coordinators to come, the delegates, anybody that's connected to the main part of the district and EPAP to attend. And you only have to come once, but we're giving you a whole lot of opportunities to come. There are going to be more of these sheets available. So I have a few. So make sure that you let your zone captains know that we're going to be training, getting everybody ready for the shakeout drill. And last but not least, we invite everyone to attend our EPAP 101, which is next Thursday, the 14th at 2 p.m. in the multipurpose room. And our speakers are going to be Brian O'Grady and Tracy Lochner. They are going to talk about the radios. We have a radio unit here that will be so helpful in the event of an actual heavy duty emergency. And then Linda Myers-Kalb is going to be talking about treating burn victims during an emergency as well. So we hope you will all come to that. Are there any questions regarding the map? Yes, Linda.
Is it on? Is it on?
Yeah.
This is just an observation, but I noticed, like, for example, my district, which is green, It's 0648. And isn't that the extension of the zip code?
I don't think it has anything to do with that. I don't know. I can't say yes, but that doesn't correlate with the rest of the map either. That's just how they've divided the districts, the zones for evacuation. Yeah, Jane.
Janice, could you repeat the date and time for the radio training?
Oh, it is next Thursday, the 14th of August, 2 p.m. in the multi-purpose room right here in the main clubhouse. Thank you, everybody. And if anybody needs more maps, I can get some. Once again, we work with a great community because Lithopath did me a huge favor by printing these out at a lowered cost. And so they are great to work with. So remember that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Janice. Next on the agenda, we normally have a standing report from Michelle Walter, who speaks on community awareness and also on the Welcome Home program. Michelle has taken a vacation, and that's much deserved. She's very hardworking. She and Bob, I believe, are in Florida for the time being. She was going to send me a statement to read and then called me and said, oh, what the heck, I'm not going to do that. So she said, please pass along our best wishes to everyone, and we'll see you when we get back. Next on the agenda would be speaking Rachel Salcido from the CCL Food and Beverage Management Team.
Good afternoon, delegates. Thank you for having me today. And thank you for sharing the website update. We are very excited and hope everybody has the opportunity to get on the website and see all the great promotions and events that we have coming up. I just did want to highlight the big event we have coming is September 3rd. Chef Jet Tila will be here in the ballroom. We're going to have 2 general sessions. I believe everybody has the flyer and we got all of that information to you for your newsletter. So thank you for those of you that reached out. Limited seating for both general admission and the VIP events. So I do encourage people to purchase those tickets early. You can buy them in the sand wedge. And long-awaited gift cards are now available. It's also updated on the website. We'll be sending out additional communication next week regarding the gift cards, but feel free to come into any of the open dining venues and you can purchase those gift cards in any amount that you would like, and they don't expire. So please give those out as gifts and thank yous or use them for yourself if you'd like. And as we mentioned, the website is now compatible with the Sun Lakes app. So if you're on your phone, you can see that there. And we're also continuing our campaign on our email distribution list. This will be different than the email blast that comes out from Sun Lakes as a community that we partner with First Service right now. We would like to have a dedicated food and beverage distribution list. So lots of you signed up at the welcome event, and we've been adding you to that distribution list. We're gonna send the first email next week, and it's gonna run concurrently with the current email blast system until we feel like we have a big enough database that we're reaching enough people. You'll see on the website and in lots of places you can sign up for the email list, so please encourage your district households to participate, to be able to get that information. And our goal is to make a regular scheduled cadence of when that dining newsletter or dining email is going to come. And so you know that on whatever designated day at around that time, you're going to get that email from food and beverage and be able to see all the upcoming events for that week and beyond. And lastly, we did have some really good success with Italian night the last couple of months, but I think everybody's tired of Italian now. So we are moving on to prime rib every Thursday in the restaurant, and we'll see how that goes and if we continue for September, or we would love to have your feedback on a different specialty menu for the restaurant. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Rachel? Okay, then we'll move on. And from the Recreation Department, I believe Jason Ewalls will fill us in on what's good.
Thank you, Cal. Good afternoon, everyone. A little bit of some events coming up here in the next couple months. Right soon coming up, we have Activities Day and we have our casino night. So Activities Day is going to be September 20th. That'll be 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It'll be held in the ballroom here. You guys, that's a great way for if you guys are on committees or any of your clubs to have a table here in the ballroom and get to know some new members and try to recruit them. If you would like a table, please make sure you stop by the recreation department and see Linda or Chelsea. September 5th, casino night. I know over the years, a lot of people have asked for this, and so it's coming back again. I think we haven't done one since I was in recreation, so it's been some time. But casino night's going to be a great event. It's on the 5th. It will take place from 5:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. The doors will open at 4:30, and we will have cocktail service starting at that time. The tickets are on sale, $60 a piece, and with that, you get the games will be 2 craps tables, 2 roulette tables, 2 poker tables. You'll get gaming and gaming chips. Delaney and James will be the entertainment, and there will also be hors d'oeuvres served. Remember that limited to 120 tickets, so first come, first serve. And again, we expect that to sell out, so you guys make sure you get your tickets quickly. Coming up again, we have another comedy night in November, so that'll be coming out here shortly. You'll start seeing signups for that. We also have, I think, October 10th, we will have a CCR tribute concert. So Creedence Clearwater, John Fogerty will not be here, sorry guys, but someone else will be in his stead. But we will have a CCR tribute band here October 10th. Should be a great concert, so make sure you guys get tickets to that. I believe those will be going on sale shortly, if not already. So. And again, I believe that'll be $15 for that concert. Fall garage sales, those will be coming up first 3 weekends in October. The shredding event will happen around October as well. And then once we get into the holiday seasons, you guys remember we have a lot of events. We got our doggy parade, we got our Halloween decorating contest for your homes. So just like the Christmas one, the rec committee has decided to do a Halloween one as well. So you'll be getting some more information about that. We're going to give you at the September delegates meeting, I'll give you all the information. That way you can sign up. Decorating will start October 1st per the rules and regulations. But then I believe the 23rd or that end of that week they're going to do the judging so they can announce it at the doggy parade on the 25th of October. So some great things coming up, you guys. And then eventually in October, you guys, our blood drive. So we usually try to do 2 to 3 blood drives a year. Our last one of the year will be in October. So again, we thank you guys for that. We have always been a very big donor to the blood bank, and they've always been very appreciative of it. Any questions you guys have? Oh, okay. All right. Yes, sir, Cal.
Carly was first.
Hi, Carly, District 14. Yes, where can we buy our casino night tickets?
You can buy them with Chelsea, or you can buy them with Linda. Just at the front desk.
Okay, Chelsea. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My question also involves casino night. Often when I've participated in one of those before, you're not really, no money's on the table, but at the end of the night, whoever has actually increased their stack the most sometimes has a award or prize. Is that also the case?
We will, yes. We will be having some door prizes. Linda's working together, put some baskets together for few of them, a few different raffles. I think 6 or so that she has planned to give out through that night. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
My question is not casino night. It's about the garage sales.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we know yet what districts will be on which weekend? I have one of my residents asking.
What I can tell you is if you were on the first weekend in May, you're going to be to the second weekend. If you're on the second, you'll move to the third. If you're on the third, you'll move to the first.
Thank you.
I just don't have all the districts in my head, Kate, but that's how it would be. So first we'll move to second move to third, third will move to first.
Great, thank you.
Okay. And next we have announcements coming from the Board of Directors.
Good afternoon, delegates. The Master Board message for the month of August, the Sun Lakes Country Club Master Board announces a change in its roles and leadership. On 7/29/25, Mr. Don Day resigned as president of the board. I was elected president. Bob Walters was elected the new vice president, and Gary and Sandra will stay in their respective positions. Don Day is still on the board as a board member. In July, the board designed a new layout for the opening session meetings, not utilizing the stage any longer, and was seated on the ballroom floor that wanted to make a statement for a stronger together as one. This was accepted by many residents, and it was very favorable of the change. We got a lot of great feedback from that. I took your lead as a district delegate community to do that, and it seemed to work out well, so we're going to continue with that. We continue to sell bricks for the clock project. On July 30th, 2025, we ordered the clock and paid for it in full. So thank you to the residents and the district delegates for all your hard work. There's a 15-week production time to get the clock made. They're handmade. They're one of a kind. Our first order of bricks will be done this afternoon when this meeting's over. So we're excited about that. We're still selling bricks, and we are 100% on schedule, working with the management team to December 17th to have a ribbon cutting ceremony. So that's moving forward and doing well. The board had approved the dog park, and the project is currently underway. Pet registration and a soft opening is scheduled for September 2nd, and we will open on September 2nd. The following week, we will have a ribbon cutting ceremony, and more to follow for information on when registration documents. We'll get those out in advance of the September 2nd registration day. The board is happy to finally get this resolved after 17 years of discussion. So everybody that was involved, thank you so much. We are officially in insurance renewal and budget season. We are currently working with 3 brokerage houses, 3 of the largest in the country for HOAs, to get better quotes for next year and to get them sooner than later, to get them before the budget. Last year, I believe the board was caught a little off guard. The budget was approved in October, and then the new renewals came in December, and they were $150,000 higher. So we're trying to get in front of it instead of being behind it this year, get those quotes prior to, so that we can inject them into the budget so that we start off on a better foot for 2026. We have approved, the board had approved, and we have sent out an RFP for the Cheers Bar. We had long discussions in this meeting last month about it. Let me just be very clear. Just want to say it one time. We sent out some RFPs. They're available for you to see on the website, on the front page. They are just an RFP. We were just going to see what the water will hold. We want to see what the water, what the temperature is out there. So more to follow on that. We announced in the master open board meeting last month that all major contracts moving forward, RFPs will go out for them. So with regards to all of our large contracts, it's time for the board to send out RFPs and see what kind of services are available for our residents and at what pricing. A team has been created. RFPs are being designed and written. Our first draft for an HOA RFP will go before the board next week in closed session. And we hope to have a clear resolution to have something to announce on the 27th at the open meeting on a date that we'll be sending that out. The board continues to review food and beverage services bi-monthly with CCL. CCL's put together some great programs that you're going to see moving forward. Next month in the magazine, we have a football program that they have created with a whole schedule of events. So look forward to more when that comes out. Football season is around the corner, and they're going to provide some services and products that I think the residents are going to be very happy about. The resident survey is either gone out or is going out due to the hard work of all the district delegates. Please remind your friends and neighbors when you get the survey to fill it out and get it back to your district delegate. It's really, really important that we get these back in and we get them back in efficiently and quickly. I've already seen some feedback on some of them, and I think that this is really going to be good for the board to understand who lives here and on how we can serve them better. Any questions for me?
Dolores?
Are you on? Okay. Dolores Doherty, District 4. Joe, since that message from the board was not made available to delegates have already done their newsletters, can we get a copy of it?
Absolutely. We did send it out the day before, the last day of July, to Litho and
We have, myself and Ann Hofert found out that the lithopass did not have those yet. So they were not included. with
I may
the-
have failed to send it to everyone. It actually came in after my newsletter went too, so it kind of goes to the back shelf in my mind. But yes, I'll send that out to everyone in electronic format.
Okay, thank you.
Cal.
Linda?
I have a couple of points here. At the helicopter ball drop, I believe July 4th, there were Charity Week.
Charity Week.
Sorry. There were supposed to be 5 winners at $250 apiece. And it is my understanding that only 3 were delivered. And I believe Sandra was going to follow up and let us know what happened to the other 2. If they were not delivered to the winners, what happened to the money? And I'd like a report on that one. My other question is, when you sent out RFPs for the Cheers bar, were they only sent to real estate offices?
Yes.
And when are you going to have a town hall? Because there is a great deal of rumbling in the community about why are we having a real estate office? And there are other ideas, and residents would like an opportunity to express those ideas. The fact that you only sent the RFPs out to real estate offices is a little bit disconcerting. My other thing is that it was also brought to your attention that the doors going in from the lounge to the restaurant are so incompatible for anyone who has a walker or a wheelchair. And I was wondering if there was any kind of follow-up. Were you going to do something about that or not?
So to answer your question, first off about the ball drop, this is the first time hearing about it, but I'll get a report to you as soon as I can. I'll research it and get back to you. On the second one, last month in the open board meeting, we did announce we're going to have a town hall. We'll announce it at this month's open board meeting when that day, date, and time will be.
Why
And
did you just send RFPs out to real estate offices?
that's what we decided to do, ma'am. Number 3, you asked about the doors leading into the restaurant. And we had a interior designer with CCL come out last month and look at the ergonomics of the furniture and some of the ergonomics of the bar and the way it's set up behind the back bar. And he addressed the doors leading into the kitchen and the doors leading into the dining hall. And had a meeting this morning about it, and we're waiting for his report on how we correct that. So it has been addressed, and we're working on it in current projects.
Not a dining hall.
I'm sorry, the dining room.
It's a restaurant.
Well, thank you. The restaurant then. Next question.
I don't.
Ann?
Ann Hofert, District 12. Is something going to be done in the atrium little area there for blinds to be put in because of the sun? And anytime that you're in there after a certain time when the sun is going down, it's very blinding if you're having a meal in there or you're just sitting in the lounge. Is something going to be done with that?
I know that it was addressed when the interior designer was here about doing sound curtains there, and he felt that that wasn't the way to go, but he did acknowledge that the sun was coming in, and it's going to be in the report. Yes, ma'am. So he did look at that.
Well, either that or clean the windows, one or the other.
Both would be good.
Also, your letter to management. It didn't get into my district newsletter.
Okay.
And so we like to get our newsletters out around the 1st. So if we don't have them, nobody's going to get them. And if Cal sends it via electronic to us, it's not going to get out, only what you've sent to Cal.
Totally understand.
Can we, usually we were to get that after the board meeting, the week after. So
May
just
I interrupt? It was attached to every newsletter printed.
I didn't get, Cal, I don't have it. I have mine here.
So if you sent it in prior to the 1st, it would not have been connected.
You know, when you have surveys, not to be changing things, but when you have surveys and you have deadlines and you want these done, we have to wait for a message to management. So that puts our survey distribution later. So I think that maybe keep in mind when you're planning to do that, that if you want us to do 2 chores, which one are you going to take precedent?
Both of them are equally important. I apologize that it didn't get to you in a timely fashion, and it won't happen again.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Jamie?
I have 3 questions. Maybe this was disclosed and I missed it, but do we have a cost for the clock and a cost for the dog park? And number 3 is, I am a realtor, and yesterday at our office meeting, Coldwell Banker, my manager held up the letter, the RFP that she received, and she was pretty excited about it. I haven't seen it online, but what she said was in the letter, they had to return it by the 23rd of August, I believe, and basically say what they wanted to pay for the space, and that a decision would be made by September 1st.
That's correct.
So it's not for sure yet that you're going to go with the real estate office,
I never said that.
but it kind of insinuates that in the letter that we received. So I could tell my manager that we may not even get a space, even if we bid on it, because it might not turn out to that.
We sent out a request for proposal to see what the market would bear for that site. Our intentions are to make more money for the HOA. That's all I can say at this time. There's no confusion. The RFP's out if you want to read it. It's on our website, and it's open. You don't have to log into our website to see it.
Any more questions?
Well,
for-
I have 2 more answers
sure.
for that young
Sorry.
lady. The cost of the dog park was estimated at $18,900 in the power presentation that I did when I announced it. The cost, I'm sorry, that was the clock tower. I apologize. The cost of the dog park was approved at $22,000 and change.
Okay. If there are no more questions for the board, we'll.
B has a question.
B, I'm sorry.
I hope we have pedigree dogs coming to that park. Okay, I have, so the RFPs are due August 27th, 23rd,
I believe it's the 23rd, yes.
and the board will have a decision sometime in September?
We will review it on the 27th in the executive session.
So that is when you make your decision regarding the HOA contract with the.
Are you talking about the real estate, or are you talking about management contract?
Oh, so
It's two
there's
different-
two
two di-
announcements on the September 27th. Your big announcement that you talked about was regarding the HOA,
Correct.
and that is regarding,
We will have a final document to send out for bid. For man-
on the real estate or on the,
That's already out to bid. Yeah, that's already, let me clarify it for you. So I understand what you're asking. I'll try to answer as best I can. We have currently an RFP that was approved and has been sent out to real estate offices with regards to the Cheers bar. That's already in motion, okay?
Mhm.
As far as an HOA management RFP, we are currently writing it, going through it, fine tuning it, and then on the 27th, we'll announce if we're ready to go or not. Does that help?
yes.
Okay.
So the management RFP, is that, is that to say that we may be looking for a new management corporation?
That means to say we're going to send out to HOA management companies to make sure that Sun Lakes residents are getting the best services possible at the best prices possible.
In other words, yes. So the other one is on the town hall. Are we still going to look at a date for the town hall before a decision is made regarding the real estate office?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, next we're going to, I think, pop back over there to Jason. He's going to give us some announcement from admin.
Really, Joe kind of said it. We're really just admin's working hand in hand with the board on all the projects that Joe just kind of went through. So there's a lot going on. Budget season is the big one coming up right now. One other thing that I guess kind of what I noticed today in a committee meeting when I was going through some announcements that I guess got overlooked or underheard at the last open session, and that was that the board approved to replace all the street signs in the community. So I heard that nobody was really aware of that, but over the next 9 months, you guys, it's going to be a 9-month process, but all the street signs in Sun Lakes will be replaced. Okay, so you guys are aware of that. Like I said, other than that, you guys really said admin's just working on a lot of projects with the board. So if there's any questions I can answer, that's really be my update.
Does anyone have questions for Jason? Jim.
Good afternoon, Jim Nichols, District 3. The last meeting I asked about the schedule, the 5-year project and repaving our driveways and parking areas. Do we have a schedule yet and which districts will be started?
So the board just received back
Thank
the
you.
new 5-year plan. They will be reviewing at their next upcoming board meeting the costs over the next 5 years for each one. So that way they can approve the work to be done. What's slated to be done this summer, later on, or fall, late summer, early fall, would be the overlay of the parking lots in the subs, as well as some other street work like Palmer. As you guys know, there's a huge dip down at the end of Palmer. If you guys come down that, so there are some street works that'll be done this year. You're looking probably into the September area, October, when the weather cools down just a tad bit. So yes, Jim, those are still slated to be done this year.
I'm sorry.
When the schedule's obtained, will it be posted on the Sun Lakes website?
100%, yes.
Thank you very much. Barbara?
I have a question about the fire hydrant repainting. I was wondering if you contracted with an elementary school or what, because they look terrible.
We would have to check with the city on that, Barbara.
The city did it?
It's the cities.
Oh, okay, then that explains it. The other question is the yard cleanups of these vacant homes. Before they were just cleaning out weeds and things like that. Now they're just completely denuding the whole properties, even things that were green and growing.
Yeah, because things are green and growing now, you guys, there's no water to those properties.
I know, but
So they're going to die.
but they've been, the roses were growing for the last 2 or 3 years.
They are going to die, and instead of having to keep spending money, good money after bad, because we're not getting any return off of those properties. They're just spending money to make it look somewhat decent and not have rodents everywhere and everything else. They are going in there and cleaning out. You guys are cleaning out the backyards, cleaning out the front yards, so that way residents aren't complaining about rodent issues, aren't complaining about dead weeds, aren't complaining about dead plants. That's all we hear every day. So that is what the board has decided to do with those homes that are foreclosed upon, is let's just go in there, clean them up, make sure they are down to the bone. That way there's, you know, no rodent infestations or anything going on. That's kind of the main thing behind it, Barbara.
Okay, thanks.
Dolores?
Thank you for clarifying that, Jason. I do have residents that are asking, why doesn't Sun Lakes either sell these houses? And I know we've asked before, but can you give some more clarification, either sell them or rent them out?
Okay, you guys, you know, when we foreclose on these homes, we foreclose on the second, not the first. The bank still owns the first. We cannot sell the property. We foreclosed on whatever is due to the association. Okay, there's still one I know that we just are dealing with right now where we foreclosed on $14,000. It's going to sell for $501,000 because that's what's due on it. The association does not own that property. We did not pay a $500,000 for that property, so we cannot sell, we cannot rent, we cannot do any of that. I know we talked about renting in the past, and you guys, it's just, again, throwing your guys' money after something that's not going to make up for it. So why would the association want to rent out a property, put $30,000 into it to get it rentable, for HUD to come in the next day and say, you know what, we're foreclosing on this property now, we're going to take it over? It makes no sense, you guys. Once the board really dug into it, they said, let's not throw good money after bad. That's why the board has said, let's do the minimal that we can just to make it look presentable, to stop rodents from bothering the neighbors. And so that's what they have done by going in and saying, let's just clear out clear out all the debris that's back there and in the front. So that's Dolores. That's kind of what's that. I know people. You go to the county and it says Sun Lakes own it, but we don't. The bank still owns it, or HUD still owns it. We have just foreclosed upon the second on the property. Yes,
Jason.
Carly.
Thank you, Jason.
Okay. Well, then, can you go onto the homes and take off the sign where it says Sun Lakes owns
It
it?
just says managed. They got replaced. It does not say owned. It just says managed.
No.
It should, Carly, because Chris just went around 2 weeks ago and replaced them.
Okay, I'll check because.
Yes, please do, because it
Yeah.
should just say managed on it now.
Because I took a picture of it to show them again, and it says that we own it.
Okay, yeah, show me that one, please. Yeah, because I know we went around and we changed it, we laminated and put up just managed by.
Okay, and also the same house does have rodents still. So I will give you the address.
Yes, please do. But yeah, I know there's some that we had really bad rodent issues that we were going in and cleaning. The backyards were a mess.
Yeah, this is inside the house. You can see it, all the rodent droppings. And...
Yep, send it to me, please.
Okay, thank you.
Ann?
At the last master board meeting, I think it was mentioned about corner houses that have large bushes.
Yes.
Is that something that will be sent to the owners of the properties?
So what that is, guys, that is a rule change. So when the board talked about it, what they did, and is they approved it to go out to a reading for the community. You will see in your September lifestyles, there will be a page in there that says rule change. There will also be copies here, and Hernan also placed it on the website under the rules and regulations. It'll be proposed rule change. And what that does is for those corner lots that may have, high bushes that are obstructing the view of traffic as you come up to the corner, those will be restricted to a certain height. So that's what the rule change will do. Now, it's not in place yet. The board has to, as I said, it'll come back to the September 27th meeting. And then at that time, if it's approved, it'll go into effect 15 days later. But the community will be made aware of that change, because anybody out of compliance with that will have time to come into compliance.
Okay, then I have a second question to that. The overgrown trees that have been growing since day one, the big trees. Some of them are in backyards that were planted there. They're overgrown, that are encroaching. I know that's an issue with another department, but I've had a lot of questions about those old trees. When I moved in, I removed 2 old trees myself. So the resident feels that they're not responsible to move those trees because they didn't plant them.
Are they in their property?
It's on their property. But you've got roots that are bringing up their fences, and then it's
You're right.
costing money for people who didn't do it, and
Well,
they just kind of.
When you buy a house, you inherit all the problems of that house. So, I mean, they bought that property, they bought the trees that were on that property, and all the problems that come along with it. Now, and they can reach out to the office, and we will help what we can. But honestly, if it's a tree on their property and it's damaging that fence there, they're going to be responsible for it.
Okay, getting back to your empty houses. Is there a set schedule, or are you still waiting for us to complain?
It's sometimes always catch up. But I do know that the 15 homes that this was done to, they should be finishing up with them. They will, hopefully it's not every month, but there will be at some point in time where they're going to have to go, and obviously weeds will grow back up. So they will be on a schedule. Again, what we have to do is we have to bring it in front of the board and say, all right, board, weeds are growing again. You guys good with us cleaning it back up? And so that'll take place.
Thank you.
Yes, Linda.
Linda?
Thank you. Linda Spalding, District 17, with the new rule about the height of the corners. So on Northwood and Brooklawn, that home is going back to the bank. And that corner has the bush that's about 6 feet high. So who will cut that back? Because it is a hazard.
I was, and I will tell you this, that rule changes, Linda, and it gets foreclosed upon. It'll probably be the association that'll go in there and cut that down. But we will see make sure the rule gets passed first.
Jamie?
Jason, I had a question on the foreclosed homes and us being in second position. Yeah. How often are we even getting payment if we're in second position? Because
not too often.
So
maybe out of this 15 that we have right now, we may be lucky to get one.
And then how much does it cost us for those filing fees and all of that to file the liens if we're not getting any money? What are we paying out for that?
It depends. It varies. It could be anywhere from $2,000 to $7,000 depending.
So is it even worth filing the liens if we're in second position?
Well, liens
and
you
we're
want
not
to.
getting
Liens you're going
the
to want to.
money?
It's the foreclosure that you come down. It's really, the liens aren't very expensive. All liens are $125 or so. But it comes down when you go into the foreclosure process is when the fees really start piling up. So it's up to the board on that and the board always has the option not to, but the board likes to a lot of times secure that property. If they don't foreclose on that, who knows that we have no right to that property at all. And then that property can just go into shambles. We wouldn't have a right to it. At least us foreclosing on the second, we can say we foreclose on the second, we can go in and manage that property as far as the landscaping goes. By law, we can't even go on the property as it is now. We should not be going and taking care of it. That's why we always tell you guys, we get that all the time. Well, my neighbor, what if we go over there and cut the lawn? You say, we're not going to go call the cops on you, but I'll tell you, it's against the law. That's the issue that we face. Again, with these foreclosed homes, what do? You want to not foreclose on them? You can. It's up to the board to do that. They have the option to do that or not. It does cost money, but you either spend that money to make sure that you can keep that property, take care of that property, or at least keep an eye on it, or you just let it go. That's the choice you have. And you have a chance of, if you don't foreclose on it, is there money there? Maybe. If you do foreclose on it, it's a crapshoot. You don't know. A lot of these are reverse mortgages. 90% of them are reverse mortgages. And you're hoping that HUD comes in and takes care of it, and then they eventually sell for more than what HUD's owed. But let's say 9 out of 10 times that doesn't happen.
Right. I understand that. My question was, is it really
Well, that's
financially
not to me to
feasible
say.
for
Like I
us
said, we
be
bring it to
doing
the
that?
board, and then the board looks at the pros and cons and decides yes or no. I do know, like the sub associations, I know that we don't really do a lot of foreclosures because there is a lot of expense to it. And we would be third in line, and there's 99.999% of chance we're not getting any of that money. So, but at least here with Sun Lakes, there is some chance. We have gotten some money back on some properties. It's just not a 50-50 chance. It's more of a 20-80.
More questions? B?
I keep forgetting this part. B Mercado, District 15. Is it okay to ask a question of the board again, the master board?
I'm fine with it.
Okay, are you ready? You ready, Joe?
You go, B, you go.
Okay, only because I know this is going to come up, maybe not just from me, but from constituents and other district personnel. It's regarding the Cheers Real Estate Office. The purpose of bringing somebody in, an outside business in, is to create added income to our establishment. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So if we already have something listed under real estate that brings us a portion of home sales and adds to our income there, is it that is not enough to support future endeavors into maintaining our Sun Lakes? Is that why we're adding to it?
I don't understand your question.
If we have replenishment funds,
Oh, thank you. You're talking about the reserve replenishment fund.
correct,
Okay, now I understand.
right. So we have reserve replenishment, and now we're going to be getting into additional income from home sales. So then how is that money going to be earmarked?
So that money will go to the bottom line of our operating expense. So we're looking for ways to create more revenue to keep our HOA fees down as a community.
But we're also going deeper into the hole because we have to replenish costs for maintenance that we have neglected for many years so far. We haven't maintained maintenance of our buildings and streets and signs. We've neglected to do that prior to your coming on board.
Okay. I
So
think where we live is beautiful, B.
I understand that, but you also look at street signs and roads.
We just approved 100% all new street signs to be done. 100%, all brand new. It just happened.
We understand that. We voted, no, we didn't vote.
No, the master board did.
We didn't vote. Okay, so I'm just trying to get at a bottom line here because the town hall is going to be coming up probably September
I don't know the date. We're going to announce it on the 27th of this month.
of this month.
We're going to announce the date of the town hall on the 27th. Yes, ma'am.
Well, then it's going to be the end of August, so you are going to have it probably in September.
I don't know that.
Will you have the final decisions from the RFPs that you have sent out, that you've come together to talk about as a board and make a decision whether or not you're going to go through with it?
You're trying to put words in my mouth that don't exist.
No, I'm asking a question.
Well, giving you an answer. You just don't like it. Okay. On the 27th, we're going to announce the date of the town hall meeting. And at that time, it's an imperative. It's important that the community has public comment on this issue.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're doing it.
So no decision will be made prior to town hall.
I don't know that.
So if the town hall if the majority of the town hall is not in favor of a real estate office in our main building, will the board see it our way, or will you go ahead with the money that is held out in front of you?
The board serves the community. We're going to go your way.
Can we have that in writing?
I signed on the dotted line when I
promise-
became a board member, so
promissory
you already
note,
have it
that's
in writing.
I want your name on it.
My name is on the contract I signed.
All right, great.
We're going to make this as fair and equitable for everybody, okay? Everything's up front. I've answered all these questions for the last 2 months about this. I didn't write it. I have nothing to do with it, other than I'm a board member and I'm going along with what the board wants to do, and that's to look at RFPs. And that's what we've sent out, to look at what the market will bear.
Okay, that last statement you made says a lot. We didn't elect you to go along with the board. We elected you to fight for us, to do what's right by us.
That's what I do every day, ma'am, to the best of my ability, every day.
But making a statement means a lot also. And I'm sorry, I'm always on your case, it seems like, because you're the.
I don't feel
show
that
up.
you are at all. You have every right to ask me whatever you want. You're a resident here.
That's right. I shouldn't apologize. I take that back. And thank you very much for being upfront. I still have questions, and I think others will be bringing more to the table as well.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Yeah. And I look forward to it. Yeah.
Be ready. All right. Thank you.
Mike?
Yes, going along those lines that B's done, and appreciate her back up to me last week. Anyway, so I've talked to several brokers, and they seem to be all for it. I mean, I was astonished, but they've changed my mind about it. I think they'll be that way until they aren't picked. You know what I mean? I think then we'll have some great discussions from them. However, the information I got is, I don't know if it's accurate or not, and I'm not going to name the people I talked to. They're talking 10% of their commission, and as a minimum opportunity. I don't know if the RFP is published openly to everyone. Is it on?
It's on the website. You don't have to log into the website. It's on the front page of the website.
Oh,
And
okay.
There are no parameters in it other than you tell me what you want to pay. That's what it says.
Oh, okay. So okay. The cost or anything like that. What's your estimate on the annual take of that? Do you have one?
I do not.
Okay.
I can tell you what comparable communities are receiving in the $200,000 range.
Okay. That's nice. Thank you.
Yes, B.
Lori?
You're
Oh,
excellent.
I'm sorry,
Yes,
Cal.
Lori, you're
I apologize, Cal.
Lori?
What are your comparable communities that you're basing that opinion on?
We spoke with 3 different communities. I don't have them in front of me, but I can get back to you with those.
I'd like you to. Thank you.
Sure.
B.
I recall that someone mentioned La Quinta was where they went to do their research. That is very different from our Yes, from our demographics here in Banning and Beaumont.
Uh-huh.
So I would not expect a $200,000
I
revenue.
just told you what the other places were getting. We don't have any expectations at this time. We'll see what the market will bear.
I bet somebody on the board does have expectations. That's where they keep coming from. 200,000 possible, but it's not realistic. But we'll
I
wait for the
respect your
town
opinion.
hall. We'll wait for the town hall.
Jess?
Yeah, this is Jess Ocampo, District 6. Joe, the way I understand it, the board won't be making any decision after the town hall meeting, right?
That's
So
how
at
I
this
understand it.
point-
Yes, Jess.
Yes. Then, by then, the residents would know exactly what to expect.
Right, because we don't know what to expect yet. We haven't
Yes.
received them back, correct?
Okay, great. So most probably a decision may not even be made by October.
I don't know how it could be. Well, I don't know. I don't know. We haven't gotten any back yet. So until we
Okay.
get them back and we sit and we open them up and we discuss them and then bring it to you in a town hall, I don't know the dates.
Okay, great.
It's too
Thank
hard.
you.
It's too hard to guess.
You answered, yeah. So we don't have to discuss it further.
Any other questions? Linda?
Linda Vieira, District 9, I really appreciate the efforts that this board is making to make changes that will benefit the community. However, in this case, I am so opposed to this real estate office for so many different reasons. We have independent realtors within our community. We have, I wish you had, if you're going to send out RFPs, that you would have sent them out to other retail establishments to give other retail establishments an opportunity to weigh in. And it feels like if somebody is going to wave a check for $200,000 in front of you, that the board is going to say, hey, we'll go with that because we want to keep the costs down, no matter how the community feels about it. And it feels that you should have had a town hall first before you sent out any RFPs to anybody. And the fact that you sent them out just to real estate has me personally and many, many, many other people in the community on edge. But I appreciate your efforts, and I hope that you will consider this discussion because there are many people who are opposed to the real estate office.
Thank you, Linda. I'll address that if I may, Cal. I'll be brief. I know we're going long. The town hall meetings are designed for the community to speak their piece and tell what the residents want. And we are going to do that, okay? We don't know what we don't know. It's like the survey. We don't know what we don't know. So let's find out what we have. We'll present it to the community, and then we'll make an intelligent decision what's best for the resident. And I think that's a healthy way to look at anything we do here. We can do anything we want to do if we just decide to do it together. So let's just see what the waters. Let's see what we'll get. We may not get anything. I don't know. So let's just see where we're at, and then we'll sit and talk about it publicly, and we'll go from there. But I appreciate your comments, and thank you for recognizing that we work as hard as the district delegates do, at least.
Thank you, Joe. Let's wrap up this section of discussion. We'll move now to announcements from the district delegates. We're going to start with Barbara.
Barbara Elness, District 1. This month is our Fill the Cupboard for the Banning Senior Center. So if any of my residents are listening, please make sure you get your donations ready. I also wanted to mention this list that you passed out of the delegates and alternate delegates. I had mentioned that Mary Langley, my alternate delegate, her email is incorrect and it didn't get corrected. So I just wanted to, if anyone wants to change their list, Her email is mail, the letter, or the number 4, mry@gmail.com. And that's all I have. Thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Jim Nickel, District 3 Delegate. I just want to reach out to Mark. I've been giving him a lot of maintenance orders, and I appreciate your team taking care of them. So thank you so much. Outside of that, have a great afternoon, everyone.
Dolores Doherty, District 4. Cal, you took away my thunder when I wanted to announce what a wonderful time we had at the potluck.
ahead.
We had everybody bring us some amazing food, and there's quite a few that I want the recipes for, so I'll have to hit you up for that. But anyway, I think, like you said, everybody had a good time, and I think we should do it again because it's a more relaxed setting, and we're not just getting to know one another in these sessions here. With that said, I had a situation coming in Gate 5 on Tuesday. It was about 5:45, and there was a young, she looked like she was 12 years old. But when I talked to her, she told me she was 25. There was a vehicle that went in before I did, and didn't even think to ask this young lady what she was doing. But when I talked to her, she said she was waiting for an open house. I said, really? It's 5:45. We don't have open houses at 5:45, and you look a little young to be moving in here. And she goes, well, I have relatives here. So I told her, well, you can't come in this way. You have to go in the main gate and register. So I didn't think she was going to do it, but she did. And I spoke to Detective Roman, and he said that they ended up turning her away, and they were going to keep an eye on it. But it's like that comment Michelle always makes: if you see something, say something, because these people are just walking in and we don't think anything about it, but we expect patrol to do everything, and they can't be everywhere all the time. So we need to be very proactive where we live. So anyway, that's my piece.
Dave Melder, District 5. We've got along with Districts 2 and District 4, we've got a sold out now bingo pizza party coming on the 14th, which is kind of exciting. It's sold out, so I'm looking forward to that. Also, something I'm going to bring up. Does everybody here know that we have a couple of groups here in Sun Lakes? I'm talking about golf right now, that have better perks than the rest of us? Yeah. If you, I've got my trusty Sun Lakes app here, and I make tee times on that all the time. I love it. Now, the annuals, they get to 7 days in advance, make a tee time, because they paid $3,000. God bless them. Go for it. And the rest of us regular folks, we get 5 days in advance to make a tee time. Well, perusing through the months here, we have groups called, and here's kind of odd, the Skins group on Saturday and Sunday mornings, early prime time tee times. I've got it here for 17 days from now, Saturday, August the 30th, 4 tee times for the Skins. And that's on Sunday, there's 3 tee times for the Skins. Now, I heard, I'm not sure this is true or not, but I heard that it was Brian Garlington that started this, and he actually had some of his pros playing with the Skins. But to take up tee times from the residents, that's not good. And there's another group I've got here. It's called the Tony Brown Group. I don't know, I'm sure all the golfers out there know who Tony Brown is. I have no idea who it is. But on let's see here. Oh yeah, here on the 29th, which is considerably more than 7 days. They have, that's on a Friday morning from 9:06 a.m. all the way to 9:34. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tea times already set up. How does that happen? Could maybe somebody from the board look into that? That's it. Thank you.
Do you want an answer?
Sure, go ahead.
Call the director of golf, David, and David can discuss that with you, but he's in charge of the tee times, and our director of golf, our head PGA professional, will be able to assist you.
Well, he works for us. What's he doing making these new rules that where other people get 30 days in advance tee times?
You should ask David that question. I'm not David.
Okay, I will.
Gail Billick, District 7. We just finished a summer fiesta bash over at the North Clubhouse and had a great time and a good turnout. And we have another event coming up September 27th. I want to thank my social committee who has worked like crazy to keep this group going, and the events are getting larger and larger. So, and Fran, thank you for filling in when I've needed you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Kathy Ottergetty, District 8, and I have no comment at this time.
Linda Vieira, District 9. I think the potluck that we had was wonderful. I wish more alternates had been invited or had been able to attend or had been encouraged to attend. It was very nice to see so many delegates there. It was very nice, a very friendly atmosphere. I enjoyed it very much. I think we should have them more often for us to get to know each other. Last month was my district's Fill the Cupboard. I want to thank my district for participating. We had bags and bags of goodies that we were able to bring to the senior center. And that's about it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Jean Dobson from District 10, Fairway Villas. I am happy to report that I've had several, I don't know, maybe 60 or 70 or so of the questionnaires already returned to me. So I'm going to send out an email blast in a couple of days. I don't want to badger you folks, but we do appreciate you getting them back. Because we do want to be #1 district for returning all those questionnaires. Thank you very much. We're in the beginning stages of an exciting social for our district. We're lucky to have Mary Flynn, who is very involved in the Playhouse programs. She is a resident of Fairway Villas, and she's going to be directing our residents in a murder mystery dinner party in October. So I will report back in October how successful that is, but we're pretty excited about it. We're going to have tryouts, or I'm not supposed to say tryouts, but interest, people to show up and interest at the end of this month. We do have a lot of homes that are empty, vacant, for sale. It's a little sad to think that there is so much movement within the district, but it's also welcoming to have people moving in and filling up those empty homes. Yes, the district delegate social, I think, was a big success, and it will only get better with the next one. The food was outstanding, and my favorite, Lori, thank you so much for that fresh peach dessert. It was just over the top. It was so pretty, and it tasted wonderful. I want to reiterate, I didn't interrupt all the others who were sharing their disappointment at this real estate office, but these questionnaires that have been returned, we have a big half the page available for people to share their thoughts, and there are so many that are opposed to this real estate office. So that town hall will be a success. There will be so many people that are here to express their opinions, and likes and dislikes, and I hope we can have a date for that very soon. The board will look very good to publish that date soon. That's all. Jess?
Not this one. I'm very happy to share this good news, The happy and lovable residents of District 6 will be joining District 17, 19, and 20 to celebrate Christmas on December 10. That's it.
Lori?
Yes, Cal, I just have a quick question. I know we're in August already, and are you going to be providing gift cards to the districts
That has,
anytime?
yes, that has
soon?
been delayed because we did not have gift cards available for CCL. But since they've just announced that they will be available shortly, if not now, are they available
They
now?
are now.
Then we will have to request that the board actually get us CCL gift cards.
Very good. Thank you.
Ann Hofer, District 12. Just a reminder to District 12, we are having our annual food drive also for the senior center. And just a little FYI, and for the other districts as well that have it coming up. People get cans goods, but they don't get can openers. So maybe put that on your list when you're asking, for donations, the things that they have to open these things with. Even if it's just a little device to open a jar, because if they're seniors, they won't be able to do that. But I appreciate the outpour right at this moment. Only being out 1 week, we've had one delivery made already. So I really thank my residents for stepping up to do that. My second question or statement, which has been on one of these return survey, is regarding the golf course that backs up to Laguna Seca and all of the weeds and the overgrown area on all the way down Laguna Seca. So I wonder if anything is going to be done with that as far as maintenance, or is it just the drought tolerant plants that are looking like weeds? So several people have mentioned that on my survey, and I wanted to ask that question basically if they are listening today. If you don't want to answer it now, that's fine, but I'd like
I'll
an
answer, ma'am, right here.
Oh.
We've contacted artistic supervisor and they're going to go evaluate it and they're going to be on top of it.
All right. But my last statement will be regarding e-bikes and electric scooters. Are they allowed to be on our road in here if they do not have a sticker? And they're e-bikes. They're like a golf cart. They move electrically. So would you think that they should be registered?
I can't answer how I feel about that, but I can tell you that California Vehicle Codes document them as a bicycle at this time. Now that's probably going to change. A lot of municipalities are having problems with e-bikes in the community. I know, talking to a lot of law enforcement agencies, they're actually buying e-bikes because they can't keep up with them in tight areas. So I think it's something in Sacramento they're discussing, but at this time they are considered a bicycle. But that's probably going to change.
Okay, because I have seen scooters being ridden, electric scooters, the same way. No gear on, and they're adults. And so, the head is hard when it hits that cement. It's going to be a mess.
Jason, I don't believe scooters are legal in Sun Lakes.
They are not.
Skateboards and scooters are not legal in Sun Lakes.
Come down country club sometime.
Well, we can address that with security though, but I do believe that is a no-no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Janice Rice, District 13. We have one question brought up to me by a couple of our residents that Tuckaway to Paradise Island Lane is a corner, and some of our delivery trucks and other people, they get going kind of fast and they cut that corner, and we've had some pretty close calls. I don't know if a speed bump, I know we don't like to talk about speed bumps here, but if that would be a solution, because it's UPS. They cut that corner and they fly around there. So far, so good. It hasn't, nothing tragic has happened, but we've seen a couple of close calls. Just want to bring that out to be looked at possibly.
So Janice, bring that up to Mike Vols,
Okay.
the safety committee. And we have we're getting ready to bring on a new person. We're going to announce this month. He's a resident here. He was the Nebraska State lead traffic engineer. Okay. Very, very, very knowledgeable. And he's going to come on board on Mike's team towards the end of the month. So bringing that up to Mike, maybe shoot him an email.
Okay.
And they'll look into it.
All right.
Sure.
I got you. All right. And District 13, I can't remember who I am. We're going to have next Tuesday, we're having a sweets eat just to get together. I'm really trying to work hard, District 13. I'm talking to you to get our district. It's the smallest district here. And I have a really hard time pulling them together. And I want to know what I can do to make that a more accommodating for all of them. And then on September 21st, we are going to have a fiesta where we are looking at a couple of groups and things like that. So I'm working on it. I'm trying to reach out to them to get the best for all of them. So that's it. Thank you.
Hello, Carly Beeks from District 14. First of all, I want to apologize because this is the first time I'm seeing our resident survey attached to a newsletter that Ann gave me. It's on an 8x10, and it was supposed to be half sheet. So I apologize to the delegates because I don't know if you want to pass them out like this. I'm probably going to go cut mine individually in half to make it easier to fit into my mailbox. And secondly, I want to thank Linda Vieira for our new name tags her and her husband provided for all of us delegates. And I'm also happy to announce that I have a new EPAP coordinator, Richard Fetterman. Thank you, Richard. And then also have a question. All the street lights on my street on Woodlands Drive are not working, so it's like pitch black in our street. So I was hoping maybe you could do something.
See the man in the blue shirt, see him after the meeting.
Okay, I'm gonna come see you, man in the blue shirt. Okay, thank you.
B. Mercado, District 15. I want to thank my district for their efforts in Fill the Cupboard for July. And I would like to also thank my assistant, Judy Taylor, who is my alternate. She's been working hard, and I really do appreciate whenever she can step in. Joe, are you a golfer?
Can you tell? You can't tell?
I just wanted to make sure because I agree with David's comments that he brought up regarding favoritism towards certain golf groups and the fact that they get more perks than regular people. Whether or not they are annuals or not should not make a difference. Whether they are female or male should not make a difference. And apparently that is being carried on through the pro shop. If David is a PGA pro,
He is.
he is not taking into consideration who his clientele is. He's using somebody else's ex-employee perks for people. He's now in a new position, and whatever Brian did before should have stopped. He's now trying to accommodate those who had something before him. And I understand that he wants to keep the status quo, but it needs to be in fairness. And I think the fact that David brought it up in front of a board member who is a golfer should have and carry some weight as to how much this affects the rest of the community. Not just golfers, but the fact that someone has chosen to accommodate others more in favor than the general public that resides here. And this has come up before the GAC. This has come up before David. It has been discussed with various golf groups, men and women, and there is nothing being done to curtail or change or accommodate the concern of what seems to be continuing. So I would hope that you, as a board member and a golfer, would see that this is something that needs to be addressed, and maybe there needs to be a committee or a conference together with everyone, including the golf groups who are being accommodated earlier and earlier and earlier. So I would hope that you would address that.
So,
B, can I say one thing? Dave Miller, District 5, to follow up on what you're, and I should have followed up with your comment, Joe. I didn't hire David. You're telling me to go and talk to him. I didn't hire him. The board hired him. You guys need to go talk to him.
David, I think what he was saying is for you to so he can give you an explanation of what's happening. I don't think he meant for you to say, go talk to him and say, this is wrong, this is wrong. I think he said, talking so he can explain it to you is what I think Joe was saying. So I don't think he meant for you to say, go and you have to deal with it. I think he was saying, but I'll tell you what, this is the first time I'm hearing this. I'll talk with David. We'll find out what's going on.
Okay,
This is the
thanks.
first time hearing of this.
Thanks, Jason.
And Jason, in all effect, it has been going on for months, not just weeks. So it is something that is now coming and bubbling up to the surface, and we would encourage you to help us out if you can.
So yeah, I will definitely look into it. Like I said, we'll look into it with Joe. But I will say this, as far as the annuals over non-annuals, that's kind of setting the rules, you guys. The 5-day compared to 7-day.
No,
that's you guys are okay with that.
No, that's absolutely agreed upon.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay, I just want to make sure,
They
like-
pay good money for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
That's
okay, I
fine.
just want to make sure that's okay, because that, I'm not gonna be able to talk to him about, because that's in there. But this other stuff that's going on, I want to find out what's going on. So I will definitely look into it.
Thank you. And I would encourage maybe we put speed bumps at the intersection where the stop sign is, rather than in the middle of the street. That way they may want to slow down and stop before continuing. Just replace the speed bumps in the middle, put them at the intersection. I'm done.
Tammy, can I apologize to you? I've been calling you Jamie.
Tammy Alexander, District 16 alternate. I would like to say I agree with Dave and B, what they just said, especially Dave's second comment. Also in my district, I'm asking, it's brought to my attention, someone brought up, they were wondering if it would be possible to have one of the pools be an all-adult pool instead of them both having kids there from 10 to 2, which is kind of prime time for swimming. I've had residents saying that, you know, they have to wait till after 2 to go, where Four Seasons has one pool that's all adults only, and then the other pool is the kids from 10 to 2. So I said I would ask. The other thing in my district is there seems to be an issue with parking, and not just like guests coming in to visit parking. It's primarily people that are fairly new to the neighborhood that maybe have too much stuff in their garage or one car and a golf cart in their garage, so they think that they can park their other car on the street all the time. And it's been going on for years, 2 years, one neighbor, a year, another neighbor. And so I'm just wondering what we can do to curb that. And I can't remember what the overnight limit is. I think it's 60 per year or something. But like I said, my one neighbor, over 2 years since they've lived there, there was a car on the street or in the driveway
If you can
every single
separately
day.
send me the address, I can check into the situation.
Okay. Well, there's 3 for sure in our
If you send me
district.
the addresses of those 3, I can check into those situations.
Okay, thank you.
Anita Lawrence, District 18. I'd like to welcome Greg Garrettson as the new District 18 EP/AP coordinator. I've been looking for a coordinator since I took the seat, and I'm just thrilled that he has stepped up. Greg and his wife Angie have been residents since just last December, and I'm looking forward to working with him, and I want all of the District 18 residents to join me in welcoming Greg to the District 18 team. I'd also like to thank Pat Hofer, who has served as the District 18 EP/AP coordinator for many years. So go enjoy being a retired person now, Pat. I've been a delegate for just a little over a year now. I'm starting to get my feet under me a little bit more, and I'm thinking about holding a quarterly breakfast for District 18 residents where we can discuss questions or concerns relevant to the district and get to know each other a little bit better. So if you're interested in something like that, please contact me and I'll put your name on an interest list. We'll get to know each other a little bit more. We'll also be supporting our restaurant. Resident surveys. Please, 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 I'm asking you to return these. Your answers will be tabulated and the information will be forwarded to the Marketing Advisory Committee as well as the Master Board, so the Master Board can serve you better. And I would really like to be one of the districts that wins one of those prizes for the number of surveys returned. Thank you so much.
Marcia Midget, District 19. I'm going to piggyback a little bit on Dolores about people driving throughout this wonderful community, but mainly at the entry gates. We've had a lot of work done in Gate 3. It was closed for 3 weeks or over 3 weeks. I realize it had something to do with parts, but I think one of the worst things that I see is Sun Lakers piggybacking in behind somebody else. There's 2 stop signs there for a reason. And there's signs all over the place that says 1 car per gate. It's really important that we let each car go in individually, come back in, and then let it down. And if someone is piggybacking you, do they have a Sun Lake sticker? But residents here, I mean, we all moved here for a reason, for the basic security that we have here with a gated community. So I think it's pretty important that everybody takes that approach and really thinks about piggybacking behind somebody. Let the gate go down before you come back through. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Kate Reed, District 20. I don't have a lot of stuff. We are in the beginning processes of planning a wine, dine, and dance event that will be coming up in October. And then I'd like to give a great big shout out to my zone captains. You guys are invaluable to me, and I really want you to know how much I appreciate you. And that's all. Thank you.
I'm Mike Bowles, District 22. We have one of our bigger events of the year coming up, which is our auction. We always have a lot of fun at that, and we're very successful. We have a very generous district, and the auctions for the gifts for the kids, Christmas gifts. And I'd like to remind people it's in my district that it's the 23rd of this month, so it's coming up soon. You can, please don't drop off your things you're donating to my house. I'd appreciate that. But anyway, we have that coming up, and also a golf tournament coming up. David, I just think that the organizations around here that put things together like that should have a a special time or whatever works for them. I mean, it's hard work to get groups together and keeping them going, and I think that's something that may add to the number of annuals. We're down, I think. I don't know where we're at right now, but I know when I was an annual, we were down a few hundred people, so maybe a couple hundred people, whatever. So I think it's important that we maintain our groups here at Sun Lakes. We're a golfing community, and I understand fully what you're talking about. I've actually had to go over to Oak Valley and play because of the fact we had tournaments going and things like that. So that's all I'd like to say. Thank you.
Charlie London, District 23. And I wanted to thank the district for putting on the potluck. Howard and I, we had a very wonderful time, and we're still full. Anyways, thank you for doing that. Our can and recycling committee, we generated $175 last month. We gave $75 to help 75 to Faith in Action. I want to thank all the delegates that might have had Mary Flynn's paragraph or the flyer about the Friendship Club's Mama Mania coming up this Sunday. This is the first time we've sold out one of our concerts. We are over the 200 mark right now. We have 29 tables set up for 232 people, and I think we're going to have a very good concert and probably one of our better events that the club's had. That's pretty much all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Linda Spalding, District 17. Mark, on Northwood and Sandpiper, there are 2 speed bumps. I have been behind golf carts that have gone airborne because you cannot see the white stripe. It's just painted on the top of it. It doesn't like go completely over. I was one of those who kind of like went over a little bit more than what I should have. You don't see them. So if we could maybe get the paint so that you could see them from the street would be great. Holes 17 and 18 on the executive course, the weeds are at least 2 feet tall. When you come around the curve on the executive course from 17 to go into 18. I know we're really low on golf course maintenance workers, and but we should be able to get out there and spray. And that's not the only hole. So I just wanted to bring that up because they're just getting taller and taller. I have 2 tents now. Okay. The dogs are barking, but they're staying on their side of the wall, but they're behind the house. So, all right, I'm going to remind every time and there's a lot of trash right now. I don't know why you have to be homeless and be a mess, but that's not me. And then, Tammy, if I could talk to you after, there's an EPAP bin at one of my residents' home, and the home is sold, and we have to have it removed. And I'll give you the address to get that out of there, and you probably know nothing about it.
Is it on Rolling Hills?
Yeah.
That's not our district.
It's your bin.
Oh, our bin, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll get it out of there because I have a deadline to get it out. Okay. That's all I have. And thank you, Dolores and Michelle. It was a great, great event, and I hope we do it again. And like you, I think we should request recipes be brought and put on the side because there was some really great food there. Thank you.
Cal Martin for District 21. We're going to have another cornhole tournament right here in the ballroom. It'll be August 23rd. If you want to come out and try it, it's actually a lot of people love that game. It's $5 entry fee, and it is a competition at the end of the event. After a double elimination of any team that comes, the winner will have a $50 cash prize. And I call them first place losers, but like Walt likes to call them finalists, the second place team will get a $25 prize. You don't have to be an expert to do this. It's kind of fun to try it. Come on out, anybody in the community that wants to give it a try. Noon on the 23rd of this month. And that's it for delegate comments. We will now move to old business. I believe since we dealt with Jim's request for asphalt schedule already, there isn't any old business. We move to new business and a motion to create a DDA follow-up process. That is my motion, so I turn the meeting over to Linda.
And your motion is nicely written. I have to read this whole thing. Motion to create a follow-through process. During delegate assembly meetings, many ideas and issues are expressed. There's no communication about the progress on the topics, which is frustrating. Because there's no effective mechanism to resolve the complications associated with implementing these ideas, frustration grows. Many topics circle back to be rehashed at another meeting. A truly effective organization takes an idea from concept through execution. We need a process to follow up with the ideas and issues that are important to the delegate assembly. Do you want to? That's your part.
Okay, for all the aforementioned reasons, I move that the DDA create a follow-up team to track and report progress on topics raised at the meetings. The follow-up team would consist of 2 delegates working together for the month between meetings, reporting the progress on open issues at the next regular DDA meeting. They'd also be tasked with coordinating the handover to the next team. In essence, the people working for that particular month would be trying to find the right people in admin, the right people to talk to about why things are, so that it becomes a more effective way to resolve the end. Each delegate would be given responsibility for 1 month of service on the team, and the details could be refined in the next workshop. That is the motion, and
I'll second your motion, and I will open it now for discussion, please. So it's been seconded. Anyone have any comments, thoughts? Agree with this, with the process? Jean?
I have a question.
I object to this motion because I think that if you have something that's important for you to follow up on, for you to know about, that's your job to do. You were elected by your district to work for them, and following up and moving whatever you gained on 1 month to another team for the next month is a waste of time. It's like the game when we were kids, that you said a word and it went around the room and it came back a totally different word. You're just losing time to follow up yourself for whatever issue it is that is important to you and your district.
Linda Vieira?
Linda Vieira, District 9. Well, I completely disagree because I feel like, for example, the ball drop that I brought to your attention earlier, that was brought up before, and it was sent to a board member who was going to follow up, and we heard nothing about it. And I think we do need to have more, it didn't have anything to do with my district, but I feel that if something is brought up and we just need to have some kind of accountability to help to make sure that these things are followed up.
Janice?
I'd like clarification. Is it mandatory that we each serve on this committee at some time?
that is the way it is certainly in the motion, that each person would have 1 month of service during the course of the year, each delegate, which puts 2 people on the team for 12 months.
Dolores?
I have to disagree with you, Jean. I think it's a good idea. We may not always have something in our district that we need to take care of. It may be something in District 23 that I see. And it involves all of Sun Lakes, not just our district. So I think it's a good idea that we all take turns, alternate, and follow up on what's being brought to the attention of the board or admin.
Any other comments? Can I comment? I can't comment. I have the mic. I have the mic. Any other comments? Okay. You made the motion.
This is a little odd for people at the television land. The reason that I gave up the acting as chairman of the meeting is according to Robert's rules. If I want to speak during a meeting on any issue, I must give up control of the meeting to Linda, who is the alternate, the vice chair of this meeting. So I get to speak on favor of my own motion. I think this is good for a couple of reasons, because whatever we're doing right now, it's not working well enough. Otherwise, this motion wouldn't be before everyone. I think that while yes, all of us have a personal responsibility to solve the problems of the district as they come up, sometimes they are recurring and sometimes they are broader. And there's nothing wrong with bringing other delegates on a follow-up so that everybody shares in that equally is the only issue. You shouldn't have to spend every month dealing with all the problems in Sun Lakes. And if we could have 2 people follow them up That would be a nice change. And I also think it's good for delegates because you may not have had to contact somebody within admin because you're a new delegate. You may not have had to figure out how some of these things are either pigeonholed, or I shouldn't say pigeonholed, how are they responsibilities are divided throughout administration. And you learn stuff. You will learn stuff in solving these problems, and then you will be more knowledgeable about the place and how Sun Lakes and how it's run, how things work around here. And that's why I think this is a good motion, and I yield.
Any other comment? B?
So I need clarification, Cal. Linda is running the meeting because you are presenting the motion. So when does she get to speak as a delegate to the question that's before us as far as discussion?
It's the rule. I'm looking at Jason. He's supporting. It's the rule. Is that the Davis Sterling?
Right, pretty much what, just the reason Cal had to turn it over is the reason why Linda can't. It's the same thing. She's in control of the meeting now. Yeah.
So is Linda okay to tell someone else to speak her
Someone else can speak upon it. Yeah.
opinion?
Okay, so, yes.
It's been suggested that perhaps we change it to a quarterly service time for a team to do it quarterly and let it be volunteer instead of mandatory. That way you would only need 8 volunteers a year. I'd like to make that an amendment to the motion.
And now I can talk? I have to repeat what she's, just a minute, I have to repeat what, I need a second after I repeat what she just said, and that is to amend the motion that we do it quarterly instead of monthly. And not mandatory. And is there a second for that?
I second.
Okay. Now discussion on that change. Now, Tammy.
Oh, maybe I'm repeating myself. I agree with Jean and Lori. I don't want it to be mandatory. Some of us work and have other obligations, and I don't want to have to worry about somebody else's district or following up. I think this volunteer position takes enough time for some people. So I think maybe a committee of people that want to volunteer to do this, but not make it mandatory for rotating that you have to do it.
Any other discussion?
Linda, who was the second on that amended motion?
Janice. Okay. May I see a show of hands for who? Do you have a problem if these two are blended together? He accepts. Okay, may I have a show of hands of who accepts this proposal?
It would be, the amendment right now is
both.
to approve the follow-up team on a quarterly volunteer basis.
But then we put it with the first motion.
Yeah, it's same, yeah, everything stays the same except the only change that changes is it's
Correct.
not monthly and it's not mandatory.
Correct. So I'm asking for a show of hands who approve of the amendment and the change.
Yes, the amended
Okay.
motion, yes.
May I see a show of hands who approve? I can't vote either. I can't talk. I can't vote. I don't want to vote for you. I think it's carried. But I will ask, opposed? Okay. Motion is carried and
Microphone wars. And now it's time for comments from the membership. If you have a comment from the seating area, please come forward and try to limit your comments to 3 minutes, please.
Is it on? It is on? Okay. My name is Fran Hanratty, and I have a question. How far ahead of time can residents place political signs on their front lawn? Thank you.
It is 90 days prior, if it has a date on it. So you guys, political signs, we can only tell you it's restricted if it has a date relating to a certain election. If it just has a name on it, that really doesn't tell us anything. That's a sign that you can have as a yard decoration. But if it says so-and-so 2024 or so-and-so 2026 or any of those nature that has a date related to an actual election, you are allowed 90 days prior to that election and 10 days after.
Because I have seen political signs for governor on the front lawn.
Right, we had one. We are dealing with that situation. It's on Fairway Oaks, I believe. We are dealing with it, but understand if it just said Governor, so-and-so and didn't have a year, there's not much we can do. But the fact that it has a year on it, we can trace it, track it.
I'm next, David Marshall Keeley. I have chaired for 14 years the Sun Lakes Country Club Charitable Trust, and I can help you out, Master Board, because the trust is not under the Master Board, but I can update you about, a question was asked about prize money for the helicopter ball drop in June. There were 5 $250 winners. 300 were announced at that time, but there was a follow-up right after that when somebody said, there's 5, not 3. 5 winners of $250 did happen, and I can give you the treasurers and the chair of the event if you need any more information than that. But it's all taken care of, and so you're off the hook because it's not an HOA issue. Thank you, Master Board, and thank you, Delegate Assembly. You guys are really appreciated. Thanks.
Okay, if there's no further member comments, I'll take a motion for adjournment. Okay, let's go home.
Without damaging the green and seeing a burnt spot on the green or just a dirt spot. What I want to talk about is you have to actually go in from the outside in. You're pushing in the grass that was spread out and you're pushing it back in and filling it back in, and then you're patting it down nicely, and then it's going to heal within a couple days. If you do not